And you're getting a divorce, and you're getting a divorce.
We're all getting divorced. Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC's podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week, we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners just like you. Today, we are joined by two favorites of the Dr. DC universe.
Yeah.
The Dr. DC.
And favorites of our lives.
Don't lie.
Richard, I'm trying to save this. It can't end like this.
There's no saving this. That's right. Producer Jessica and Mrs. Dr. DC are here.
Hello.
Hey there.
Fun.
Josh Gill couldn't make it, so we stepped in.
One of my other wives.
Mistress.
That's true. Those thirst traps and all the
It's
DMs.
not a thirst trap. I just, without fail, anytime I get...
Did you see the post that he
You
made
must
today?
be up late at night.
Did you see the post?
Yes, I did. But I mean, like...
Would see what he wrote?
I'm up pretty early, and I see when he posts something new, and you've already commented. Always. I'm never there before you.
You never will.
Title of your sex
Are you
tape.
talking about your wife again?
No, wait, don't go.
We got a review.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
They're pouring in now.
Yeah, boy.
We've opened the floodgates.
And by that, you mean a drip a day.
Hold on to your belts.
Even more exciting, it was on Colombian iTunes.
No, it was
Yes,
not.
it was. I swear to God.
What?
It was on Colombian iTunes.
Colombian iTunes?
Colombian iTunes.
I think we just lost it. We're offending them deeply.
Oh, no, it left. It somehow got deleted.
They do. They know that we're recording it this way.
Yeah, we got a 5-star review from Hombre Araña.
Spider-Man?
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Hombre Araña? Yeah,
Oh.
it's Spider-Man.
Oh my God. Spanish.
Colombian Spider-Man.
That's
reviewed
amazing.
us.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, with the... You can't just, it's got to be verbal if you're going to say it.
You can't just touch your nose to imply something about Colombia.
Is that what you did?
We're wonderful guests.
Yes.
Wait, I'm not being video recorded?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
guys,
you are, but that's for a separate stream.
Something different.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought you guys hit 30 reviews. So
We did.
We do, but that's a whole
We don't want them
separate-
to stop. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
don't send any more.
Yeah,
We'll
but
still
what
take them.
she's saying is that the video episode should be coming. That's not this.
Oh, yeah. No. We didn't say it would be the next episode.
So
but
for
it
the
is.
video series, are you going to be playing like
Series. Whoa,
Series,
whoa.
strip dial docs?
I don't.
There you go,
How does
guys.
that work?
Don't ask questions.
Just take off your clothes and shut up.
We keep going back and forth until we can't think of one. Then you have to take something off.
Oh, God.
Like with the chest timer.
Guitar
thing.
guy.
Wall man.
I already used that one.
Oh, fuck.
Well, this review was with the title, "It's a Great Comic Podcast."
Nice.
They go on to say, "It's funny and awesome. Very much recommend."
Nice. Well, gracias, Hombre Araña from Colombia.
Continue.
I'm a big fan of your great export coffee.
That's right. Bueno.
Muy bueno.
Yeah.
Mi gato es muy blanco. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
There it is. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, this can't keep going.
Soy muy guapo.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well, are both of you excited to get into the news?
I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah, please.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm riveted.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're taking their, like, the cue for the energy they take from you. That was, you
Okay.
took such a long pause.
Let me say that I am happy to be here.
Oh, yes.
Despite missing BattleBots, which is currently on. I'm recording it to watch at a later date.
It's not just any episode.
It's the first one of season 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like this isn't just any episode because it's the annual.
Oh,
And
no,
you're
no.
like, of course you're missing BattleBots. This isn't just any episode.
No,
But
this
you
is
mean
just-
the BattleBots episode? It's not just any episode.
This is another
Duh.
edition of the crap we put out every week.
Yeah.
And I really hope
It's
that
very special. This is their second annual. We've been doing this for 2 years, somehow with more people listening than when we started.
Yes. Didn't go down.
just realize that we are banking this right now.
Oh.
We're banking this time.
Okay, well, ominous threat aside, just before we get into that news, how do you two feel about the fact that we've been doing this for 2 years?
I'm proud.
Moving on to the
No,
news.
I was waiting. There was a delay in my headphone.
Oh, yeah. Where's my snare?
My earbud.
Turn my earbuds up.
No, I'm proud of you guys. You stuck it through.
Yeah, you guys haven't killed
And
each
we
other
record
yet.
it.
Yeah.
Like you guys still talk,
Yeah.
Only on Mondays when we record. Yeah.
but it's become something that's mildly uncomfortable for me. You guys are in love and that's fine. But much
It's
like
a relief for me.
yeah,
I think
much,
it's more of a physical thing. I wouldn't call it love.
but much like Jess, like super proud of what you guys have accomplished.
Oh, thank you.
So
Shucks.
See, now look at all this goodwill. Now we can like ride into the news.
All right. Let's get to the news.
Jesus God.
Now on, let's get to the news.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. After the release of its pilot episode, Swamp Thing is canceled.
Yeah. This is like a bigger thing though. Like I think basically the entire DC Universe service might be getting shut down because WB, I think.
They came out and said that that's not true.
Well, there's been a lot of different things coming out. One thing says it was shut down for tax reasons. One thing said they didn't like the creative direction.
Well, that
one
was
thing
this
said
one thing.
AT&T had taken over Warner Brothers and they might put out like a WB like streaming service. So then they shut down DC Universe and blah 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 blah.
From what I hear, DC Universe is fine.
The latest thing that I heard, which was today, which could also just be total bullshit,
Yeah.
is that only Titans may survive this weird shakeup. And that
J'accuse.
and that Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing might get.
Whoa. People like Doom Patrol, though.
Yeah, but I think it's more that it's kind of niche as opposed to
People got real mad about Swamp Thing already, so.
because it's great.
Well, you were upset about Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it's only like 2 episodes in. You
I
know?
haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Heard
you weren't really watching it with me. You've watched a bit of Doom Patrol.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, as Robot Man.
Is everything.
I'm just happy, that he's working.
Not anymore.
Maybe it's like an upswing, like RDJ when he came back. Maybe this is the start of the.
Yeah,
and-
maybe they'll cast him as Wolverine when they move the X-Men to the
Ooh.
MCU. We'll get Brendan Fraser Wolverine.
Or like the big like Keanu Reeves upswing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for
Keanu's having a hell of a year.
forgotten Canadian actors to.
Is Brendan Fraser Canadian?
I believe so.
Dope. I know he was Dudley Do Right, but
I just want
Yeah.
Encino Man to come back.
you want Encino Man to come back?
I want like
want-
Encino Senior,
Do you want a sequel or a reboot?
a sequel
A sequel.
George out of the
squeakle.
jungle. Yeah.
on Medicare.
Jesus Christ.
It's a socio-political.
It was
Thing.
very, extremely.
Yeah. It's a guerrilla look into.
Man's inhumanity against man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's deep.
It's so serious.
I
Set
know.
in nature by nature.
So I really hope that Swamp Thing wouldn't get canceled. I really like DC Comics.
It's really good.
But yeah, a lot of like questions up in the air. Apparently, it's not affecting like things that are still upcoming, like Stargirl and Harley Quinn and some of those things. But
Oh, that's good.
there's some potential issues with the future of DC Universe, or at least some of its shows.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like Titans. I'm glad that that's not going anywhere. I haven't watched Swamp Thing, and I still haven't finished Doom Patrol. It's not like pulling me in.
Oh, see, I really liked Doom Patrol.
It's cool, and it's doing some really interesting.
It's weird as hell.
Yeah, and that's cool. I'm glad that is a thing, but I don't know. Like it wasn't enough to keep me going.
Do you like it more or less than Black Lightning?
Oh no, I like it much more than Black Lightning.
Okay, I just had to make
Just
sure.
fucking goddamn it, it's fucking James Remar. I can't. I can't get started. I really fucking hate that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Lightning.
What do you mean, Black Lightning? My name is James Remar. I was in a movie once that was good.
Yeah.
This isn't.
No, wait, which movie was good?
I don't know.
Quest.
It's not good.
No, he was in something good because I messaged Kyle Clark about it. And
I thought he was good in Dexter. I thought that was the thing he was good at.
Well, not really. He just was in such sparse things that
I see.
it was like, Dexter, I know that you like to kill people.
Right.
We have to figure this out. Fade away. It was enough that it didn't upset you, but
Sorry, James Remar. I know that we're hurting your feelings right now, but that's okay.
yeah, you can tell how upset I am.
Well, at any rate, I'm upset that Swamp Thing's being canceled.
Okay, well, here's the thing that...
Do you think that there would be like a porno version of Swamp Thing?
Yeah, I mean, there must be. It's probably called like Damp Thing or something.
Moist Thing.
Oof.
Moist moss.
You make my dong sing. You put everything into my booty.
Jesus.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
I think I love it.
We're married for a reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's still just made of plants, but he just has a fucking cucumber. Just
Jumbo squash.
Zucchini.
A gourd.
just a pumpkin.
Oh, God.
Aubergines.
Aubergine.
Why is it so
Well,
wordy?
it should be the eggplant, like the emoji. You're right. It should be an aubergine.
It'd be weird if it was purple, though. I don't know.
Would it be
Pulsing.
much more weird if it was purple than if it were a cucumber?
Like,
Well, at least the rest of him was green. It would make sense.
like purple and throbbing.
Thank you.
And made of flesh.
And it was a dick.
This is so off topic, but I remember, I don't know if you ever were shown this when we were in theater school, but a friend of ours once found this like ridiculous porno and like showed it to everyone in our theater program.
Edward Penis Hands?
No. It's weirder than that. It was like people dressed up as dinosaurs. Yeah. But then only just their dick out of the costume. So they were just straight up pterodactyls with human penises, just fucking just like a human woman. She wasn't in a costume. And and while they were doing that, this like hand puppet baby pterodactyl like came up to the front of the screen and was like,
So what you're saying is that they were trying to push their Christian idealisms into society through that.
yeah, Adam was a pterodactyl.
Well, and people and dinosaurs existed at the same time.
And they fucked. That's what the Bible says.
Don't covet thy dinosaur.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the scale just be so wrong?
These were conveniently human-sized dinosaurs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say human-sized penises.
Well, yes, and also that.
Oh, okay. So were was it like baby dinosaurs then?
No. It was like dudes in dinosaur costumes.
Well,
but then there was one hand puppet baby dinosaur in the front that was just like,
mommy,
cawing.
no.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I just mean
Stop taking his money.
If they were going for realism, then technically, if this dinosaurs were...
I think this porno
because realism is what's
I
important.
think we had
there.
left the realism station a while back.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm
'cause
trying to follow the plot,
Well,
okay?
with pterodactyls.
It's called Jurassic Pork. No,
Oh, God.
I wish it was. I don't think it was.
Oh, Jurassic fuck. That's it.
Just like no creativity. What a great start to this episode.
Got another piece of news.
Okay.
Yeah, I just shot beer in my eye.
Yeah, you did.
Or dinosaur juice, I mean. We got a new poster for Wonder Woman 1984, and people got real mad about it.
Well, some people whose like only thing to do online is just be shitty. They were like, Ragnarok looked the same, but like it's a dope looking poster. Why are we upset? She's in like looks like a version of like the Golden Eagle armor, which
Never
is
say die.
which she
Golden Eagle.
which she probably gets because she's trying not to get scratched by Cheetah, who is in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
you know. But
Kitty's got claws.
very vibrant colors. We know it's set in the 80s. I think it looks dope. I'm excited for this movie. Are you guys excited for Wonder? You've both seen the first one.
I really like the first one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it because the 80s are dope, and it's nice to see what they're gonna do with it.
Right.
And who's playing Cheetah? Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
That's
And Pedro Pascal is playing Maxwell Lord.
oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
If you had to pick like something from the 80s, either like politics or pop culture, or something that you hope is referenced or you see show up in the back of this movie.
Flock of seagulls' hair.
Flock of seagulls' hair. That's what you're looking for.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Was in the 60s. You want it to come up again? Like they fuck up the timeline?
The government covered it up in the 80s. This is how I tell the world.
Right.
This is the opportunity for a flashback sequence.
Cuban
okay?
Missile Crisis 2, the recubaning.
Say hello to my little friend.
2 Cuban, 2 Missile Crisis.
No, I just want a good soundtrack.
Sure, yeah.
I'm really excited to see that. I really like the first one. I love the 80s.
I hope that at the end,
excited.
when everything is resolved, she's about to sort of, disappear into the, because the world doesn't know about Wonder Woman. She's going to sort of disappear back into society for a bit. She turns to the camera and says, "Don't you forget about me."
See, I was hoping for like down, 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 down. Red light, green light. That's what I want.
Wow. You
Yeah.
want Pour Some Sugar on Me?
Yeah.
In Wonder Woman?
Yeah. Right.
Feels like we're like 10 years too late for that movie.
I mean,
You want some winger.
oh yeah. Wait,
Just give me all the aha.
I do kind of hope that there's like a final like fight between her and the cheetah scored by Rock You Like a Hurricane.
right? Oh,
I'd be kind of be into that.
as long as she's only 17 doesn't come up.
Yeah, that's not really good action
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
It would be better with Take On Me.
The big final fight.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I do kind of like that. It tracks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Guardians of the Galaxy type move, but I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. People online being shitty about it just need a
People
fucking hobby.
online
man.
being
Like,
shitty about
Jesus,
something?
like learn a
Reddit,
skill.
where everyone's really nice. No
Play it.
one ever mean.
right.
Play an instrument. Like read a book. Do something else, man.
Well, one thing that they can do is enjoy this week's theme.
Well,
Dr. DC strikes again.
that's right. It's our second annual. Like we said,
right.
we've been doing this for 2 whole years now.
Yes, this time.
Dun, 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 dun.
This time it's personal.
Yeah. 2 Doctor, 2 DC. Yeah, so I mean, like last year we used the annual to sort of like, reflect a little bit on the past year and sort of revisit some, books that we've read.
Yeah.
And we've got some like fun stuff lined up. And then later, like we've got some questions from our listeners, but not for us.
Oh, yeah.
Questions
that's right.
for our esteemed guests.
Well, before we get into that,
Yeah.
we have some prescribed reading recap that we should be doing / ranking.
That's right. So we've read some books since the last time we did an annual.
We have.
And I thought this year I would get you to sort of recap / like rate, maybe out of like capes or something.
Yeah.
Books that you've read, and maybe we could just we could take our esteemed guests through it a little bit in case they skipped those episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think the first one that we did was the Question Quarterly, Volume 1, Number 1. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do. That was the jungly. He was used to be the question. It isn't the question anymore.
Yeah, he's in the jungle, and he's sort of like one drug lord hires him to kill someone else, but it's really the drug lord who wants to commit suicide, basically.
Yeah.
And it's essentially about whether or not he should kill. Do you sort of do you have like a sense of how you enjoyed that one?
It was honestly that it was a pretty good comic. Like it was pretty straightforward. It was an interesting sort of angle. It wasn't necessarily like right in the midst of his heyday. It was looking back a little bit, which is nice, and you get a little bit of sort of recapping his career while still like kind of this new sort of angle for it. It was okay. I don't think the writing was immensely great. I think it was a good straightforward comic. It was like a 2.5, 3 sort of capes deal.
2.5 or 3.
Yeah.
That's lower than I would have thought.
Yeah. It didn't really leave an impact, but it sure was a thing I read.
Sure. Well, next one, I think I know. At least the side of the scale you're on.
Yes.
Green Lantern Earth 1. Graphic
man.
novel.
That was great. I mean,
year.
that for someone who's always wanted to read Green Lantern but thought that the scale was a little bit too big for me and I didn't really know where to come into this sort of ideologies of Green Lantern and the characters and things like that.
Well, I mean, for our guests, our wives, You guys are like roughly familiar with Green Lantern, like at least how the power works or things like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so far from the mic.
Yes.
Okay. But do you want to maybe describe what's different about the Earth One version? Because it's got a real like specific take on Green Lantern.
It does. I think it's a little bit more of a grounded, sort of our. I think it's Earth One's supposed to be our sort of current Earth, sort of almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's more just like a place to play around with origins.
Yeah.
Totally,
It feels a little bit more grounded. So you asked them to pick up the mics. This is what you're gonna get.
I'm agreeing with the doctor. I wouldn't dare disagree.
Thank you.
Jeez, Richard.
It's about time someone agreed with him.
But I don't know if it was that drastically different. Like,
Well, the big thing is that the ring doesn't choose him, right? It's sort of like
finds
he's like
the
mining
ring.
the moon or some shit like
It's
that.
very much like
or mining an asteroid.
Yeah, like a sci-fi, like a modern sci-fi sort of film that you would find now, something similar. It was very highly. They took a lot from the Aliens sort of movie series for a lot of the like technology and sort of where they were at in the future.
And sort of
was.
the art style.
Yeah,
it felt very like
it was really good. I think that you got a lot of the sort of main sort of tenets of what it is, and you got to see like you got to see the Green Lanterns. You got to see a little bit of the Yellow Lantern in there.
Yeah, and I mean the big thing is that the core basically doesn't exist in that book. That Hal finds a ring and he's basically like the last of the Green Lanterns, which is like an interesting take, because then there's no one to train him, there's no one to teach him what a Green Lantern is, there's no one even to teach him like how to make a construct. He sort of stumbles across all of these things as the book goes.
But you get all the sort of main characters like that come in throughout it. Like it's a good way to like a different way to bring you into the context of Green Lantern.
Can I ask a silly question?
Of course.
Is Arkillo in that book?
Arkillo is not, but Kilowog is.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very much centering around Kilowog.
I'm pretty sure Arkillo's not in that book.
I don't think so.
But yeah,
Not that I remember.
Kilowog definitely is. You actually get to visit his planet before it's destroyed.
Yeah.
So how would you rank Green Lantern Earth One?
That's a 4.5 capes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's way up there. Well, I know, you were super excited like leading up to it.
Yeah, and I love that art style. I love the Earth One series books. I'm
Is this a 5 cape rating
yes,
system?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a 4 cape. It's getting a half extra.
Well, I don't know. Is it 10?
Oh,
I don't know.
That would be really bad. Yes, no, it's 5. Yeah.
Listen to last year's annual. This rating system makes a lot more sense.
Not really, though.
On the other end of Green Lantern, like from something that's sort of like has more of like almost an indie kind of sci-fi feel, go to something like couldn't be more mainstream.
Yeah.
Blackest Night. It's the big like DC zombie story. What'd you think of that one?
So that was good. I mean, the basic idea of that is that the green rings from Green Lantern, these are black rings that basically can bring the dead. So they got all of these dead superheroes, and this is like at the end of this huge run of a bunch of superheroes dying and being murdered.
That's so metal.
It's pretty metal, yeah.
It is pretty metal.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
is.
Yeah.
And so you basically have to like.
Thank you. It was plain in my head.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Basically, the idea is like all of these heroes that are left have to fight all of the past sort of dead heroes from the last like 10 years or something.
Well, it's
like
basically like in the history of comics.
Yeah,
so if a
well,
hero
yeah.
was currently dead or had died in the past, they became Black Lanterns.
Yeah, and so it was metal as hell. It was I think like it threw you a little bit, like unless you've been following the series, it was a little bit jarring to kind of jump into it.
There's lots of characters. It's trading on a lot of history.
Yeah.
And it's referencing like lots of different things, different events, different all sorts of stuff.
It's a thing that I one day would be awesome to see it on in the movies. I think right now it's like we're
It'd be cool to see an animated one. I can't imagine a world where we have like a thorough enough like live action universe to pull something like that.
Well, I don't think you would need to. I think you could just do it sort of cold and
I see.
find a way to pull it in. I think like
interesting.
I think the universe is a little zombied out at this point, so we'd have to wait. But I could see it happening at one point. But it was a decent story. The visuals were pretty rad. Like it's not my favorite art style, but it's
it's pretty like much a house style. It's
Yeah.
Ivan Rice
Yeah.
doing the art there.
What about
Exactly.
a video game version?
Well, I mean,
Jesus.
you could. You technically could if the bad guys were just all of the previous. Yeah, you could.
I mean,
do
there's
it.
a quest sort of thing to it where you'd have to get all of the different colored lanterns together to beat them. And, like, you could definitely make it a video game. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Done.
I think they made it like
I made it.
I think they made it like a
Wow.
quest line you could play through in the to DCUO in like
really?
the MMO, like the World of Warcraft for DC.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they used Blackest Night for a storyline, so you could sort of play through that.
Do you play that?
I haven't in a long time because right now my focus is Lord of the Rings.
Mass
but,
Effect.
But yes, I have played it before. It's pretty cool. It's a dope game.
No, there has been no Mass Effect.
There's been a little bit, but I'm stuck right now. I'm not good enough.
He just lends
Sorry,
you the
Richard.
Switch. That's what needs to happen.
Never good enough.
Well, no.
So, how would you rank Blackest Night?
It's a 3.5.
Is that now Blackest Night is sitting on your nightstand and has been for like a month? Is 3.5 enough to get you to read it?
Okay. I want all the readers to understand something. I give so much.
Well, I thought you were gonna say zero fucks. Okay.
No.
I was not ready for the word so much.
The doctor, I will say in passing that I like something, and then he'll give me a book to read. And between all the things that I got to do, I do it, and I read the books, and I enjoy the books.
Begrudgingly.
Not even so much begrudgingly. Sometimes I'm genuinely excited.
Yeah.
Like the Larfleeze book, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Well, we got questions that'll address this,
Sure,
so let's
yeah,
wait
yeah.
for that.
But I'm gonna get to it. It just won't happen in the time frame that you would like.
Sure. Well, it's just
You play Mass Effect and she'll read Blackest Night.
oh Jesus.
Thank you.
Done.
All right. The next one was this is how we capped off our regular episodes for 2018 was Superman Volume 2, number 75. It was the death of Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
sure died.
You've also seen the animated film, right?
Yes.
So between that and the book, what did you think of the death of Superman? Yeah, there's some differences. But just huh?
Yeah. The battle was kind of cool. The art style wasn't really amazing. I think that again, it feels. I don't like really jumping in. That's why I like trades so much because.
Oh, sure, because you're right at the end of the story.
Yeah. So it's just like, here's this thing. A fight's about to happen, or it's just finishing, and it's like, oh, cool.
Right. Well, and that issue is pretty much just like punch, dead. Because
Yes.
it's all single page panels. Because like each issue was like fewer and fewer panels per page. Was there? Did you think that like the big sort of final thing, with the cape tattered
It was
on the fight, is
cool.
that like striking, or was it just like, hey,
It's something that I've seen a bunch.
Sure,
It's imagery that's been since that comic had come out. It's been pretty prevalent. But that being said, yeah, it was good. I just wish that I had, I guess, a little bit more context to get
Right.
sort of emotions from it. But I did watch the movie, and I didn't really care for it. I think that the comic actually was better than the movie. But
I'm going to put three things out there.
was actually better than the movie.
Oh shit! Controversial
Hot
stance.
take.
I'm going to put three things out there, and anyone can play this
Got
game.
three?
So you have the comic Death of Superman. There's the animated Death of Superman, if you've seen it, and then there's Superman's death in Batman v Superman. Which one of those three got to you the most? Not to say that it got to you at all, but which one of those?
Batman v Superman.
You've seen Batman v Superman. Did Superman's death get you at all?
Not really.
No?
No, me neither.
Not at
No.
all.
It, like Henry Cavill was fine, but
Oh,
it
yeah, he
just
is.
where
Fine.
where it's placed, it just kind of feels like a
Sure.
We're robots.
yeah. We have no feelings,
I cried like a baby.
Every time.
and still does.
Always.
Yeah. Was that Snape?
Yeah. That gets me emotional.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
See,
Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
that one.
I cried when Dobby died.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
Well,
If you don't cry when Dobby dies, you're heartless.
Yeah.
It's true.
You go immediately to prison because it's just a matter of time before you take a life.
Yeah.
That's how I would do pre-crime. We don't have precogs, but you can just make people watch Dobby's death, and if they don't cry, be like, just put them in prison.
So, death of Superman, death of Dobby.
Death of Dobby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
But that's also with context, right? Like if I was just reading Superman comics and then he died, and I didn't know that 8 months later he would be back, and it was just like a big marketing thing or whatever, that probably would have gotten me then. But having all the context, knowing the history, it was like, sure, like it's a museum piece thing. It's like important because it was a big thing, but I don't read that and go like, And that's sort of. I think I'm the same way. How would you rate it?
I would say it's a 3 cape.
3 capes out of 5.
Yeah.
better than the question. You
Yeah.
liked it better than the question?
Yeah.
Interesting. At Christmas time, I made you read another graphic novel.
I don't remember.
Well, no, you wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have made it the 12th episode.
Yeah, well, you knew what you were doing.
Batman Noel,
Yeah.
which is basically a retelling of A Christmas Carol through Batman. What did you think of that one?
They put the Dick Grayson in Dickens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Grown.
And I put the Dick in Dickens.
Here's to year 3.
Yeah. More dicks than ever.
2 more years. 2 more years.
I actually thought that was really good. I actually really from what I remember sober drinking.
Do you
like,
remember
reading
sort
it?
of? Do you remember like how it was cast? Sort of who played what roles?
Not really. No.
Well, Batman is Scrooge.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Well, don't be shitty. Catwoman is the ghost of Batman Past.
Okay, sure.
Superman is the ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah.
Joker is Christmas Yet to Come. Mm-hmm. Commissioner Gordon is like the nephew that's like, come to the party.
Yeah.
And then talks shit about like behind his back.
I mean, it's a classic storyline, right?
Jason
So
Todd is Jacob Marley, who's dead. Yeah.
you're just like recasting a good story with characters from like
Yeah.
DC. So I mean, from that standpoint, like story was good, art was good.
Yeah.
I liked sort of the retelling and the ideas and the way that they sort of did. It wasn't one for one. Like they made some interesting choices and changes and stuff.
Question: who plays the crippled kid?
Tiny Tim?
It was Tiny Tim.
Is it?
I actually told her.
Cratchit?
It's because Bob Cratchit is in it as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's sort of like he's press ganged into working for the Joker, and at the start of the book, Batman shows him like no mercy, and at the end of the book, he's like, "No, I realize like you were just committing crimes because you have this kid who's sick."
No,
blah, blah,
they
blah."
break Tiny Tim's legs as payback.
Oh yeah, and they take his
Jesus.
crutch, so he has to like crawl everywhere.
No, he was fine. He was fine to begin with.
Oh, yeah,
they,
then they
did that to
crippled him.
him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, as a mob hit because his father wasn't
Right.
paying his gambling debt.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we got to take it out of the
And
flesh.
Tim was gonna go to the Olympics, and they didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a gymnast.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Didn't you remember that?
it's so much worse.
DC execs.
Oh, yeah.
We're available for freelance.
Jesus. How would you rate the not that grim version of Batman Noel?
I would say it's a 4.5 capes.
Nice, that's way up there.
Yeah.
Okay, what about my version?
10 capes.
Yes.
This has been 10 capes the whole time. Chuck you.
Green Arrow, Black Canary wedding special.
This was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, the concept of like the Green Arrow, Black Canary wedding is like fine. It's not, but I loved the humor in it. I liked the big cast of characters. They were some really funny. They really shit on that one character.
Fucking Snapper Car.
Yes, which I enjoyed. That was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like I really liked the sort of art style, and the storytelling was really good. It was actually a lot of fun. Like it was a fun read.
The basic premise is Green Arrow and Black Canary are getting married. You see a bunch of like shots of the heroes. Some of them are like, this is a terrible idea, and like, I can't believe it's actually happening, whatever. And then the villains decide that this is their chance to take down the heroes. They even say like, we know we'll lose, but like they'll all be in one room. We might as well try.
Yeah. You can't. We would hate ourselves if
Yeah.
we didn't.
Is this the one where if it's I don't know if it's Batman or who was the superhero that was like, I'm not going.
It's Batman.
Yeah, it's
yes.
Batman. Yeah.
It's like this is dumb.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's Batman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. There was a steamy sex scene in it.
There is a pretty steamy sex scene in it. Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking about that.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Did you read it? Did Richard make you read it?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay.
He knows better than to suggest any
we'll-
readings.
We'll get
sure.
in there. We'll get into it.
But I mean, like, can Black Canary like control?
Well, it doesn't come up.
Is she a dom? Is that what you?
It doesn't come up in this
no.
book, but there are other comics where they make like a reference to something like the neighborhood windows shattering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if she canary cries.
That is a thing in like Green Arrow comics where they're like, oh yeah, she screams and like the neighborhood pays for it.
So, like on their wedding night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. I mean, if they had gotten there, but they didn't because basically she kills Green Arrow at the end of that book, but it's not Green Arrow, it's Everyman.
I'm so proud of her.
For killing him?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't like Green Arrow.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
But, like,
not the husband killing. That's good.
No, you
like, Richard, run.
Art imitates life.
Do you need a place to stay, man?
So
If I
was
can
the
get
whole
out of
thing
here.
just like a ruse to murder Green Arrow? Or was she actually in love
No,
with him?
the thing was more like a ruse to get like Black Canary, because every man had taken Green Arrow's place, was disguised as Green Arrow, and tried to kill her on the wedding night. And
I should have read this.
there's a funny moment in there though when the brawl is breaking out and like her ring is bouncing away, and
Yes.
she's like, "That's my fucking wedding ring," and Ollie's like, "This isn't important right now." She's like, "Fuck you, yes it is."
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. Next.
How would you rate it?
That's 4.75.
So specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost a full 5.
Well, what was it missing? What's that criteria?
Tits. Could you?
some high quality TNA. No, I guess for me, it just I didn't give it, like, they didn't make me care about what was happening. It was fun, but like there was nothing that made me go like, oh, I'm so glad that they're finally tying that knot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess isolated.
There's no emotional stakes in it for me.
Again, you know, it's not like it's part of, you read the arc, right? So isolated.
It's
from
not really.
anything
I mean,
else,
it's more of me not reading other stuff that.
it's fair.
my
Though. If you're
context,
just
I guess, going
if you're
into
just
it.
dropping in, that's still a fair.
So no emotional connection is only 0.25 cape.
Yeah, if it's a really good everything else, then yeah.
Such a man.
no emotional connection.
It's got to be Schindler's List quality or nothing.
I love that. It's only 0.25 because he felt nothing.
As long as all my other needs are being met.
Jesus.
The listeners are getting a real insight.
Still cranked it to the issue. But,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sex scene was still there.
oh no, I was just to the fight. Not.
Yeah.
Detective Comics 1000,
Oh,
big
yeah.
anniversary issue. 80
Hell
years
yeah.
of Batman. 1,000 issues of Detective Comics.
Loved this.
A bunch of different stories
Yeah,
in there. But
a ton of
generally-
really good stories. I mean, those are stories that I could still think about and had a really good time with. And
Yeah, you
like,
could really think about them.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Show me how you think about them. Think about them more slowly.
He'll show you 0.25 worth.
Do it doucement. Do it very slowly.
I'm gonna watch you watch me reading it.
Thinking about it.
Yeah,
Thinking about reading it.
yeah.
Was there a particular story in that collection that really stood out?
I really liked the Detectives Guild thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking.
Where he's following
rad.
the clues for years and all over the world, and he finally gets to this room, and they're like, "What took you so long?" And it's all the other detectives.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I liked the photo at the end one.
Oh, yeah, where they take the Bat family photo.
That was
on a
super
roof, yeah.
fun. Yeah, it was Kevin Smith's story was really good. Yeah,
Yeah, with the armor plating.
yeah, that was really cool. Where you like find the importance of that piece, and yeah, yeah, it was great. There was a ton of really good stuff in there. That's a whole five capes.
5.
Yeah.
And then the most recent thing that we read
Oh yeah.
at the end of this Dr. DC fiscal year was
we actually got money this year, so that,
yeah.
it is a
it's a
fiscal year.
fiscal year now.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah. Fistful. Yeah, of course.
well, a fistful year. I don't want to let him
Yeah.
use that word.
My apologies.
This feels like a bad precedent to set. We've outlawed the word fist. Booster Gold.
Yeah.
2 issues. So Booster Gold Volume 2, number 26 and 27. It was the Blackest Night tie-in involving Booster Gold and a resurrected Ted Kord.
Yes.
Wow.
It was okay.
But, you know, you're a guy who's self-professed, very
I love
interested in Booster
Booster,
Gold. There's some time
yeah.
travel involved in that. So then what let you down? Why wasn't it?
He didn't get enough
Why-
of like I didn't feel like you didn't get enough of who Booster is in that. You didn't get enough of the sort of like his personality. You didn't get enough time travel. Like all the things that were cool about Booster weren't in there.
Right.
So for me, it spent a lot of time trying to like vaguely set up what was going on. That it was kind of wasting time to actually do character development.
Right.
It didn't make me believe into the relationship with either version of Blue Beetle.
Right.
I felt really disconnected from the whole thing.
So that only takes 0.25 away. What was the rest of the problem?
The artwork wasn't great. The artwork wasn't.
You read my mind.
Yeah. The artwork wasn't particularly good. I didn't think the storytelling was necessarily super cohesive.
Sure, yeah.
I felt like it jumped around. It was a little choppy. Like they were trying to really get this bigger storyline in very few pages, and it just
Sure.
So
wasn't
only-
what I was looking for when I'm looking for Booster.
So only 4.25 capes then?
No, because there was other things that were wrong with it.
So what
too.
would you rate this one?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't have to necessarily be about the capes. Could just be about like a feeling inside your gut.
Yeah.
Pick your favorite and your least favorite from that list.
My favorite was got to be Detective Comics 1000.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's a pretty easy one.
Big anniversary issue. That makes sense.
Yeah. I there was a lot of really, really good stuff in there. So, and I think the least favorite probably Booster Gold was there. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
the second one was my favorite, and the last one was
So if you had to give me a direction for next year for prescribed readings, things that like maybe you would prefer, or
I like-
what should I be looking for
like
you?
it's stories that I'm not being jumped in the middle. Like I like trades, and I don't necessarily have to be big ones, but
Right.
something where there's a very clear like beginning and ending. That's why I liked the Batman Noel so much. I
Right.
think that's Green Lantern. Like
Right.
these are like you clearly are brought in and then taken away, and I think that.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling like I'm just jumping in at the tail end. Or at
So
the
if I
very
do
beginning.
give you actual comic issues, you'd prefer me to give you like an arc, give you like
Yeah.
like 4 issues to read as
Hell yeah.
opposed to just one.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And give me like 2 weeks to read it.
No, I'll just give it to you the night before. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, we've seen how that works out. Pop quiz is next. You apparently have developed a pop quiz.
I have developed a pop quiz that everyone can play because if you even listen casually, almost everything in this quiz is something we've explicitly talked about
Okay.
on the show.
Just hold on, opening up Google.
You're just, what's your answer?
I'm thinking
Loading. I mean, thinking.
buffering
All
my
right.
brain.
I don't know if you all just want to talk over each other or.
Are these all Dr. DC themed, or is it?
These are
comic
about
book?
DC comic books.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not about like us. Like, what's Richard's biggest fear? The ocean.
He knows.
The Marianas Trench.
Specifically, yeah.
Oh, I mean that one.
I made him watch The Abyss, and he fell
Oh,
asleep.
jeez, you're
He
so
fell-
mean.
It's not scary, but he fell asleep.
What's it called? Thanatophobia?
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia. Oh yeah, thanatophobia is the fear of death. Sorry.
I mean that too.
I don't have that. I welcome it.
You've asked for it constantly.
Hashtag sweet release. Question number 1.
It's a thing. Don't worry.
This one is really for you, but we'll see who
Yeah.
remembers it. From what century does Booster Gold hail?
Was it the 24th century?
22nd.
I was going to say 22nd.
25th. Very close.
Oh, Jeopardy rules. I win. All right.
Bonus.
Price is Right rules. I
Yeah.
win.
Bonus question.
Okay.
What other characters from that time?
Brainiac 5.
No, Brainiac 5's from the 30th century or 31st. Yeah.
Adam Strange.
No, he's from the present.
I'm just making things up.
No, that's okay. I'm just providing the
Don't judge
I'm
me.
just explaining why you're wrong. That's
Yeah.
all,
Mr. Mitzitspitlik.
He's from the 5th dimension. He's probably outside time.
Okay.
It's Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash. Is also from the 25th
You know,
century.
I wanted
yes.
to make a joke and say HR,
That would have been close enough to count.
but I was trying to be good.
Here's one that has you guys can work together because there's lots to contribute to this one.
Okay.
Name the Green Lanterns of Earth.
Hal Jordan.
Yes.
John Stewart.
Yes.
Was Hal Jordan also in Body Break?
That's Hal Johnson.
That's a thing.
Johnson.
There we
I've
go.
already.
McLeod.
There we
Did
go.
you know I made that image up like when we first started?
Yeah.
No.
I don't pay attention to what you do.
Oh, I
I'm
had
sorry.
Green Lantern. And
Wow.
It's okay.
Okay. Hal Jordan, John Stewart. There's still many more if we want.
Oh, fuck. It's with an R, right?
Yeah, his last name starts with an R.
Yeah. Fuck. It's the guy everybody hates.
No.
Oh, who's the one everybody hates?
No, that's a different one.
Oh.
The one everyone hates, I'll give it to you. Or the one I hate specifically.
Yeah.
A lot of people like him. I really hate him, those. Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
Who was the one when Hal went bad? It's Kyle Rayner. Oh, yes. There's a couple of sort of either new ones or sort of bonusy ones that are sort of on the fringes, if you can think of any at all. No? Golden Age Green Lantern?
No.
Alan Scott?
No, I don't even remember that one.
Simon Baz?
Yeah, I've never even
Oh
heard.
yeah.
Jessica Cruz?
Oh yeah, I know that one. I've heard you talk about Jessica Cruz before.
He doesn't shut up about Jessica Cruz.
The new Teen Lantern?
Well, he says Jessica. I assume that it's Jessica Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The new Teen Lantern is called Kelly Quintella. Jenny Lynn Hayden, aka Jade, was briefly part of the core. And then there's like an ancient Chinese one named Zhong Li. That's a real obscure one.
Yes.
Okay, next question. What is unique about Earth 10?
Is that the one where the Nazis win the war?
That's the one where the Nazis win the war.
Way to go.
Oh shit! Yeah, who are? Can you just for like bonus fun? Can you name like the German Naziized versions of the Justice League? Can you name any of them?
No.
The Red Sun.
The easiest way to do it is just think about how like fucking like boring and descriptive Germans are. So there's Overman.
Gas Man.
No, there's Underwater Man. Unterwasserman is Aquaman.
Fast Man.
Blitzen.
Oh. Man.
Yeah. So there's a bunch like that. Yeah, exactly. That's Earth 10. It's the Nazi Earth. That's where the freedom fighters are.
Is it like Superman with 2 S's?
He's Overman, like Ubermensch. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
Name the first appearance comics of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
I'm sorry, the number?
Yeah.
Superman number 1?
No.
Superman number 2.
No. What's the other comic Superman?
Oh,
is
Action Comics number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Detective Comics number 1?
No.
Detective Comics number 3?
No.
Oh.
4.
Detective Comics number 27.
Oh, we were gonna get
Obviously,
there.
yeah.
I mean, just
And then Wonder Woman, this is the hardest one. What's the first comic she appeared in? Hint, the word Wonder Woman is not in the title.
Yeah, well, no shit.
Professor Marston's sketchbook.
I mean, probably, yes, but available for public consumption, it was All-Star Comics number 8.
I thought it was Batman's bedside journal.
Alfred.
Dear Alfred.
I love that invisible jet, Alfred. Was that Davis's joke? Okay, next question. In what series did John Constantine first appear? And who created him? Think about it. We've talked about this character already today. I was lamenting that they might not.
Swamp Thing?
Yes, Swamp Thing first appeared in Swamp
Oh,
Thing.
yeah, I remember now.
Written by who?
Who?
Grant Morrison.
No, but it could
Alan
have been.
Moore?
Alan Moore, exactly. Well done.
Yeah, nailed it.
Here's one
I'm
again.
gonna cut out all that space.
Here's another one that everyone can contribute to. Name the founding members of the Justice Society. Not the
Brainiac
Justice
5?
League. No, that's the Legion of Superheroes.
fucking me.
Justice Society is like the war era ones, like the Golden Age heroes.
No idea. No idea.
Some of these you can just basically use some of the names from the Justice League, and a couple of them will be right.
Superman?
No,
Wonder Girl.
no,
Batman?
no.
Batwoman.
I'm going to give you
The
one,
Flash?
but which Flash?
Wally West.
Jake Eric.
Fuck
I can put you in the direction.
Stop asking us about this one.
These are the older ones, the Golden Age ones. So Flash, Jake Eric. I mentioned who the Golden Age Green Lantern was.
Yep.
Alan Scott.
Alan Scott. That's right.
I listen.
I don't.
You pitched a movie about this one.
Oh, Dr. Fate?
Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson.
Hell yeah.
Wings.
Hawkman?
Yes, Carter Hall.
I was like, Paul McCartney?
Yes, Paul McCartney was in the Justice Society. Wrath of God.
Should be afraid of that.
The Spectre.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Corrigan, and then a couple of these other ones I don't think have come up. Al Pratt, the Atom, Wesley Dodds, Sandman, Rex Tyler, Our Man, aka pill addict. Takes a pill.
Seriously?
Yeah, he takes a pill and he gets superpowers for an hour.
That sounds like something we would come up with for Dial Dog.
Our Man. Here's one. What iconic Marvel hero was meant to debut as an antagonist of the Legion of Superheroes? So they were going to be an idea for a DC Comics comic book.
Oh.
It never happened. They ended up being...
Dude, X-Men from X-Men.
Who from X-Men?
The
You're
fucking,
so close.
the pop disappearing
Yes,
guy.
yeah, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's the
exactly.
one.
There you go. Nice.
Nailed it.
This one should be fresher in minds. As described in the Aquaman movie, name the 7 seas.
Oh, the Seven Seas or the Seven Kingdoms?
I mean, same thing.
The brine, the
Yep.
fisherman,
Yep.
the trench,
Yes.
the hidden world,
Yes.
the Zebbles,
Zebel. Yep.
the Atlanteans,
Yep.
Whoa.
One more.
the deserters.
Yeah. I'm the living great Gatsby.
Hashtag put down the dog. Put the dog down.
That's it. That was all 7. Well
I'm
done.
impressed.
Bam!
Very well done.
It's like I live with a man who's obsessed
Constantly
with
watching it, yeah.
who's obsessed with Aquaman.
Permission to come aboard? Yes. Granted.
You can come anywhere you want.
Here's a one just to embarrass people because I enjoy this part. Recite the Green Lantern Oath.
Darkest day. The brightest day.
In darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
Something Green Lantern's line.
That is the last bit. So
I can't think of
let
the rest.
those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green
Lantern's light, yeah.
Richard and I got halfway there.
Yeah, yeah.
That was nice. Well done.
All I'm ever trying to do is just get halfway there.
Yeah.
It's like the tagline for the podcast.
No, that's just I'm hoping to show up.
Here's another one, movie related and should be relatively fresh in memories. What are the powers of Shazam?
Jessica, do you know this one?
He can fly.
But they've got each of the letters of his name.
Think of Shazam as
the
a
power of
acronym.
Zeus.
Power of Zeus. That's the Z. Yeah.
Merlin. He's got the
No.
the wisdom of Merlin.
Nothing to do with Merlin.
Strength.
He's got
Strength of Hercules. That's right.
something for Achilles.
Yep. Courage of Achilles.
The ankle of Achilles. It's the one thing. He's got to
It's a shitty power.
One of them is Hermes.
No.
Hermes. Or,
No. What's the
Hades?
Roman name for Hermes?
don't know.
Hermes.
I don't know.
Mercury.
Oh, okay.
Has the speed of Mercury.
And that's all I got.
We've got Hercules, Achilles, Mercury. We have Ham.
And Zeus. I said Zeus.
Oh, yes. Sorry. And Zeus. We have Hasm.
Or
What's the S? The S is the weird one.
The philosophy of Socrates.
Close. It's the wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, yeah.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's like weird esoteric.
I knew there was wisdom.
And then the last one is the stamina of Atlas. So we can fuck.
All night long.
No.
And then
night.
last question.
Oh, no.
Last question is an easy one. This is just a lob because I love you guys. Give me a brief synopsis of the history of the Hawks.
Fuck you.
Carter Hall and Kendra.
Sure.
They reincarnate over and over again every time they are killed. They started in Egypt. One was Princess Shaira, I believe.
Oh.
And then Carter was like her protector, and she was killed by the guy that keeps coming back. I
The
can't.
magician.
Yeah, the magician. I can't think of his name.
Single tears going down the doctor's face.
I'm so hard right now.
And they keep getting reincarnated.
Yes, absolutely. And in the Silver Age, they were made to be alien cops. Now all of this has been retconned to just be different lives
Yes.
of theirs.
Yeah.
But for a while, there were like different versions. But yes, that's basically the main thrust of it.
Yeah.
What's the bad guy's name again?
Hathset.
No.
The other magician.
It's not
guy.
Vandal Savage.
It's
It's,
not
not the
Vandal?
way it was in
Okay.
the show. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're thinking of the show, which
Yes, I am.
I need to take a walk.
You're welcome.
There's a pillow on the couch. If you...
You want me to fuck the pillow?
No, this is not Big Mouth.
Oh, you mean just to? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Wow, I like that your initial thought is she wants me to fuck the pillow, clearly.
I don't
Do
know.
it right now in front of everyone.
I've been to your house before.
That's true. If anybody's fucking a pillow in this house, it's me.
That's it. I'll be right back. Getting the black light.
40 years old.
This is I'm 40 years old and I'm a magician.
I'm 40. I love that show so much.
It's really good.
Very well done on the pop quiz. I will admit I made it rather difficult.
That's true. And
You know.
Well, you know, I mean, last year Richard did not make it difficult, but the person that we had answering the questions, still had to
Everything was difficult.
Drag them through the answers.
yeah,
so.
absolutely. Well, with that, let's
Who?
yeah. Let's move on to the best of guests. We'll be right back. So today we have a returning guest in the doctor's office, our resident Marvel defender.
Oh, I see what you
Andrea
did there.
Stratus. Yeah.
I'm glad that's their thing out. I thought it was going to be like just resident queer person or something. Because that's the last time I was here. So, that's my.
And once again, we're doing an episode about queer.
Yeah, exactly.
I made it. I made it.
Token queer person. All right, let's talk about
Let's
this.
do it.
So this first episode is Marvel steals from DC. So all of the occasions that
Yep.
Marvel has taken characters and made them
And made them more interesting and better. Yeah, let's talk about that.
ding ding.
That's where we're starting. That's where we're starting.
We're going to be very antagonistic.
All right.
on this podcast. Well, let's head into the questions because we got a ton of questions.
Yeah, we did. We got so many.
I'm very, very excited about this. So let's head over to Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
Yeah, you did. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
I know you always get embarrassed when there's a guest and you have to do the drops. So.
There's no shame here.
That's how I live my life. I apologize. It's only shame. That's how I get so much done. From our old friend Adam Upper.
Hey, Adam.
Upper, I barely know her. Wow. I haven't made that joke in a while. Can we comment on probably the biggest ripoff of characters in Deadpool / Wade Wilson and Deathstroke / Slade Wilson? Liefeld wasn't really trying to on that one, was he?
Right. So,
Did Liefeld create both those characters?
no.
Okay.
He created Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Very clearly stolen from Deathstroke. Now, I say that, but we'll get into it. Like, these characters
Talk
have...
about edgy. Deathstroke.
Well, I mean, you...
See, that's why you got to be careful. It's like putting the belt around your neck. You got to know where your limits
Oh,
are.
no.
Good, or that edge can turn into a Deathstroke.
Just David Carradine.
Oh,
Rest
see?
in peace.
the legend continues.
The legend
Yeah.
stopped continuing.
Yeah, I mean, these characters have gone in very different directions since, but just initially, Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, is a DC character whose first appearance, he's fighting like a group of teenage heroes, the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
He's
One wears a purple bandana, the other one wears an orange one, the other one wears a red one. Just these
not the
teenage
fucking
heroes.
turtles. Not the fucking turtles.
Everyone's favorite pizza eating teenage hero.
He's a military guy. He signs up for this experimental procedure that kind of gives him like a healing factor.
Is this Deathstroke?
Yeah. He
So it's exactly the same origin story.
it gives him a healing factor. It gives him sort of enhanced reflexes. He's a master marksman and like expert sword fighter. And all
super
of these
snarky.
things. And then several years later,
Wade Wilson enters and has the exact same. The first appearance of Deadpool, he's not like this. Like, hey, Deadpool's fucking annoying. Deadpool's like
you don't like where Deadpool's ended up.
Chimichangas, come on.
It's so like. It's like if you hired a hyperactive 15-year-old to write a comic book. Like,
Yeah.
I liked it.
You liked the Gail Simone one though, right?
Yeah, I like the Gail Simone one. I liked some of the earlier Deadpool-y stuff, but it just got so like.
Yeah.
He's a character that gets out of hand so quickly. But like his first story was he was like this extremely serious, like same thing as Deathstroke was like he fought X-Force in his first appearance. And was like not like this like jokey fourth wall sort of inner monologue guy. Was just like this like deadly serious. And in the Ultimate Universe too, he was also kind of the same way.
Yeah.
He was also very much like this like super serious dude, not like the chimichanga eating man we love? Question mark. It's a funny character that took off because I remember like for years they tried to get Deadpool to stick, and it was like, this is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like I said, if you look at where those two characters are now, Deathstroke is still like this deadly assassin, very serious kind of character. Deadpool's gone totally a different way. If you look at them, other than the obvious like ripoff of their names, it doesn't look like there's a lot in common. But those first appearances are like
It's the exact same.
They're carbon copy, basically. Yeah,
and like if you're gonna rip off somebody's name, change more than one, literally one letter.
Slade Wilson. How about
Wade Wilson? I wonder if there's got to be something behind that story where they were friends or something. Like,
so who created Deathstroke?
Deathstroke must have been like Jerry Conway or someone like that, like just given the era. Right. I don't remember offhand precisely who created Deathstroke.
Because that was at a time when Liefeld was actually like pretty invested in comics and wasn't really
created by Marv Wilson and George Perez.
Marv Wolfman. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And Deathstroke also...
There's no way that Wolfman and Liefeld at that era would have been like close enough. Like they're not the same age, right? They wouldn't have been roommates. They wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like, it's clearly someone reading Deathstroke and being like, cool. And then like coming up with an idea. Okay, you know what this makes me think of? I'm going to give Liefeld the benefit of the doubt. One summer, I spent a whole bunch of time trying to write a Meatloaf musical because I love Meatloaf, and I wrote like a whole first act, and someone asked me about it, and I was like, okay, well, let me tell you.
Hold on, Meatloaf the food or Meatloaf the singer-songwriter?
The singer.
Unfortunately, he knows so much about Meatloaf.
Can you imagine a musical about the food Meatloaf though?
But envision with the soundtrack, it's a musical with the soundtrack is all Meatloaf the musician.
But just wait. So this friend asked me like what the musical was, and I was like, okay, so there's a small town. They've outlawed rock and roll. And this guy like rides in on a motorcycle. He shacks up with the preacher's daughter. And like,
oh my god!
I was like talking about it. And they were like, that's Footloose. I was like, son of a damn it! I wasn't doing it on purpose. So
that's hilarious.
I'm gonna give Liefeld the benefit of the doubt and say that this was his Meatloaf Footloose.
Was Deathstroke
the lead character is going to be Slevin Faken.
Lucky number Slevin.
Yeah, that's a great movie. But
I haven't seen it. It's actually really quite a while. It's on Netflix.
We watched it recently. It was really good.
So you've talked about that you don't like the Deadpool character now. Do you like the original one, or is Deadpool just a character that you just don't think works or that you don't connect with?
I think it's a character that's best used sparingly.
Sure.
Like he can be interesting, and it's
which is not the case.
Yeah, not the case at all. But like there has been instances where he's been used to like pretty decent success, and he had some decent stories in like the late 90s. He's best when he has a bit of like there's still like a bit of humanity left in him, like
right.
But it's never the case. It's always like he's always such an outlandish character, and it's so annoying.
What did you think about the movies?
I hated them.
Yeah, I liked the first one. I hated the second one.
I still haven't seen the second one.
It's not good. It's just like, it's bad. The jokes are dumb. It's got TJ Miller in it, even though they knew that TJ Miller was a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that was like post him being a piece of shit.
Ryan Reynolds knew what was up, and he's like, well, it's too late to remove him. Like, he's in the movie for 6 minutes. Just cut the dude out.
Yeah.
Like, you could very easily do it, considering what they've done with House of Cards, gentlemen. Like,
yeah, you could just be like, Weasel was killed. New Weasel.
Yeah.
But like the jokes are dumb. Like they're just all like it's such like lowest common denominator.
It really is.
Right.
And it's, I don't know. You can just like Marvel has so many good writers at their disposal. Somebody could write him really good, and a couple people have. Like he's in. There's a series running right now called like Mr. and Mrs. X. That's like Rogue and Gambit got married, and they're like adventuring around. And Deadpool like just made an appearance. But the writer is a really good writer, so she can write him in a way that.
Oh, mamma mia! I want some chimichanga. Is that?
Yeah, like that's just like that stuff is just so fucking like. Why is he obsessed with chimichangas? Like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you just Google Mexican food?
I feel like this all started with those hilarious the Comic-Con like YouTube video stuff that started popping up with all the people dressed up as Deadpool doing silly things during like Comic-Cons. I feel like that's where the popularity started coming back. That's when Deadpool started becoming more relevant to the mainstream, was that he was showing up doing these like pranky YouTube-y stuff. Like,
but the people that were super into Deadpool are also like the Comicsgate people. It's like,
yeah.
It's not like it's a pretty problematic sect of comic fandom that is also super into Deadpool.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, it's unfortunate that.
But he is like he's an interesting character that if the right person had him, they could do something interesting. But it's just so overwhelmingly.
It's funny because Deathstroke, has gone the complete opposite way. It's like always been treated very seriously.
Yeah.
Like storylines like the Judas Contract or things like that are like very like grim. Like you're not. I mean, we talked about the Judas Contract and why you're not meant to side with Deathstroke in that one.
Yeah.
Which is because he's having sex with a 15-year-old in it. But like those,
Yeah.
like that character has gone.
Check episode 69.
Couldn't have gone further from where Deadpool ended up. It's funny to think that they have such like a shared origin.
Yeah. He was
Or not shared, stolen. Deadpool.
Yeah, straight up lifted.
Liefeld.
That's funny.
But Deathstroke was also a really hard boss fight in Arkham.
Yeah.
He's
That's
one of the,
right.
he's notoriously like one of the hardest boss fights.
The opposite of the electrocutioner fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the polar opposite. I hated that. That made me want to not play that game so much because I could. It took me like
The Deathstroke
It
one?
took me so long to get past him.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, today we are joined by a very special guest, comedian Simon King.
Hello.
Howdy.
I don't know what you meant by special, so I thought I'd respond like, hey guys, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining
Agreeing
us.
to this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the guy who brought him up here,
Yeah.
forcing him into a car and going, "Oh, we're going to go to the airport," and then just bringing him to the studio.
I know.
Just one stop on the way. Coffee, this other
We're
thing. and
actually
then the
recording
airport.
this from the trunk of your car, so we can't get
If my
away.
parents are listening, I'm okay. They're treating me okay.
I love you.
Yeah, there's a little fear in that. I don't like it.
I'm a little cold. They said they'd read me a story. I don't have any light in here. It's the John McCain Viet Cong podcast. Can you hear me blinking?
Oh, no.
We all live in a tiny sun torture box. All right, sorry.
I haven't watched Bridge on the River Kwai in a long time.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, the sequel, Kwai Kwai Away, is so good. If you can... And Kwai Mea River is even better.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Let's do it.
I love that people's names on Twitter don't ever have to represent who they are as human beings, because this next one is Raz My Berries Review.
We love this.
That's my favorite Prince song.
Yeah, no, he's
I'm upset that you got to that first. God damn it.
I may not be good, but I'm fast. Ask any lady. I gotta go.
Hacha.
What is the best thing Bruce Wayne has done for Gotham with his money? And
Ooh.
I think I'm going to take this one.
Please go.
Go.
Let's
Has
do it.
constantly reminded everyone that his parents are dead.
Yay! That's a good thing to do with your money.
I don't think he's done that.
Are you fucking high right now?
What has he done with his money to remind people that his parents are dead? Keep in mind that the citizens of Gotham don't know he's Batman. So they can't be like, oh yeah, that guy's definitely like doing this for his parents.
Well, all the crying that he does in Crime Alley, I think that would probably.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, right, like the fortune that he spends on the 2 roses that he brings once
Yeah,
a year.
exactly. Well, and driving the very expensive car to get there.
Where do you think he got those roses?
He has to get the blue flower from Batman Begins, and he walks all the way back to Crime Alley.
Every year. Oh, this takes forever.
What is
Thank you for justifying
what
my
is the
asshole
best
answer.
thing Bruce Wayne has done for Gotham with his money?
Fucking nothing.
I think the best.
Yeah, that monorail? Is that his?
Well,
Monorail.
it's the
Monorail.
According to the movies, it's
Bogdanville.
the family.
Yeah,
I
so
can
that's
explain
that's
it
that's
to you,
not
but
him.
only you and I would understand it.
Yeah.
Monorail.
I call the big one Bitey.
Yeah, what has he done?
I mean, I think the easy cop out answer is he becomes Batman and fights crime, but I don't know that that's actually like
Bruce
that's
Wayne.
not for
That's
Gotham.
Batman
Right.
has done that.
Yeah.
They're two different people.
That's
sharing
true.
the same
That's
boss.
true. That's true. What has Bruce Wayne done?
I guess it's technically those foundations that he like A uses to spy
Didn't
on people,
open.
but B like they do offer
Yeah.
like free clinics and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
that's probably as good as it gets.
But did he open those?
Yes.
Yes, Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne did.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I submit to you that Commissioner Gordon's the superhero.
Yeah.
But I think
He's plugging the clock every day. He's out there.
He turns
working.
on the light
He
with
turns
the
on, no one gives
tape
a, no one gives a
symbol
shit
on
about
it.
Commissioner. It's not Commissioner Gordon and Batman.
Yeah.
It's Batman and then this fucking guy who works for a living.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like maybe it's because I have a problem. I have no problem with rich people. I have a problem with greedy, selfish fucks.
Sure.
And I see Bruce Wayne as a greedy,
Yeah.
selfish fuck. At least Lex Luthor admits that he's a piece of shit. He's
It's
like,
true.
I'm kind of an evil guy, and everyone's like, fair enough. And Lex Luthor is, like I said, like we talked about earlier, Lex Luthor is fighting someone he has no business fighting.
Right.
He's doing
And-
it for Earth.
And he's
yeah,
fighting
in his own brain, he's doing it
and
because
he's fighting a guy. He's fighting a guy he has no business fighting.
xenophobic, but-
who is absolutely way more powerful than anything else on the planet. Like more. He's basically, it would be like a guy picking a fight with the United States of America by himself.
Right.
And then pointing nuclear weapons at him and be like, go fuck yourselves. I'm like, what is this guy's power?
You actually
How
just
come we can't kill him?
you just described Kim Jong Un.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
like,
so
hey,
hold on. Lex Luthor's Korean. This changes everything. Lex Luthor. How come Lex Luthor? I think that would be in today's climate. People would be like, well, clearly Asians are bad guys. I get what you're doing, white guys. No, but like at least what I'm saying is at least Lex Luthor, although he's a piece of shit, is an honest piece of shit, and he's not hiding behind anything. He's like, look, man. I'm gonna run this razor across my head. I'm gonna go outside, put a suit on. I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna fuck with Superman. And everyone's like, "You're crazy." He's like, I bet it's gonna be a draw. I'm like, what do you think is gonna be a draw? That's Superman, and that's gonna be a draw. That's like going up to a guy in a bar who's a huge, big, muscular guy, knocking his beer out of his hand, and go, "What the fuck are you gonna do about it?" And he's like, "Well, I can't hit him." Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, when you put it like that.
He's way more brave than Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's just beating up muggers most of the time until the Joker shows up, who again is just a dude, just a crazy dude. Crazy is nearly beats rich, like billions of dollars rich white guy. That's how fucking shitty Bruce Wayne is. That the Joker is a crazy guy and he damn near wins with no resources. He just nuts.
What have I done with my life?
You spent all your life on the wrong side of the book, man.
I need to look up the mixing ratio for the peblum that I feed my infant, but I know so much about comics and why? For what?
No, it's good. It's a good examination of human psychology and human behavior. I mean, it really is interesting.
Yes, yeah, totally.
But if you look at it from the point of view of it really comes down to what side the propaganda is on.
Yeah.
Because if you were pro Luthor,
Well, that's the thing. Comic books feed you the pro Batman.
So if you're
message,
hey, this guy comes here from another planet. He's fucking up all his shit. He's just doing what he wants. I mean, he's a nice guy, but is he really a nice guy? How's Superman helped you today?
Well,
and he's like, well, he didn't really help me at all. Yeah, fuck that guy, huh? Just flying around.
We should build a wall around him.
Build a wall around Superman. Build a wall. Just a wall shows up. Hi guys, Superman here. You guys need anything?
Danny the
and
Street's
Krypton
cousin.
will pay for it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Krypton will pay for the wall. So I'm just saying, it's like if you could. Look
Do you
at
know
it
what
that
you
way.
might appreciate in relatively recent run of Detective Comics, which are Batman stories? They introduced this kind of group of super villains called the Victim Syndicate, and they were all people that basically got powers because they were victims, collateral damage of Batman fighting other villains, and they go after him to expose him as the threat to Gotham that
so then
that he is.
You got a class action lawsuit.
So there are I think some people like comic book artists and writers and that do try to address that idea. I mean, ultimately, because it's a Batman comic, you have to come down on Batman as the good guy.
Yeah, you
but
have to.
that idea does come up occasionally of where are you doing the most good, or have you forgotten about these people that slip through the cracks or shit like that. That actually does come up more often than you'd expect,
because it's not in the old days, it's if you're going to deal with the psychology of being a superhero, particularly one who doesn't actually have power, so like a Batman or something, or an Iron Man, the psychology of that is fucked. That's someone who is so egotistical and self-driven. I mean, okay, first of all, he's a billionaire.
Kind of bored too.
And bored, yeah. But okay, so he's a billionaire, so he's got all that money. Okay, fair enough. You're a rich guy. I get it. Okay, so you're bored. You got nothing else to do. But Bruce Wayne didn't even build the wealth himself. He just inherited. He's just a fucking prick. He's just look. If Bruce Wayne was a guy hanging out at a ski resort, showed up in a Lamborghini, look at my fucking car, look how great I am. I'm gonna go down here wearing a cape. Everyone would be like, well, he's just a fucking asshole. But instead, he's like, I guess I'll once in a while beat up a mugger. But how do we know who he's even beating up? I mean, all we have this thing where he's like, that guy's trying to mug that guy. I'm going to beat. Well, how do you know? Were you there before? Maybe the guy
maybe he's getting his stuff back.
You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe it's a Craigslist deal.
I mean, in case of muggers, you're probably right. In the case of the villains, they're usually the ones holding the freeze gun.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got
or the revolver that's
and that's the other thing. That's the other thing. So basically, what these superheroes do is they create an environment where supervillains thrive, and then they fight supervillains. They're making their own work.
And that's definitely a thing for Batman.
They're making their own work.
Absolutely.
And then they're taking credit for the work they made. That's like me burning down your house and going, well, build a new house. It's like, well, you burned down my fucking house.
This is like the Luthor thing we talked
about. It's like, exactly. So they're all, what I'm saying is it's self-perpetuating. If you left the rich guys alone and we dealt with them with the legal system, or whatever we could.
Or
And
put the money into like the social programs, the
You're
mental
telling
health
me,
issues.
You're telling me that Luthor Corp isn't responsible for people's leukemia and a bunch of other shit like that. You're telling me we couldn't go to... You're telling me Superman has all these opportunities to kill this fucking guy and doesn't do it, but all we'd have to do is take him to court and be like, look, legally, man, like, you have no money anymore. We took it away. And he's like, well, now I'm just a smart guy. And I'm like, yeah, and we beat the fuck out of you. Like, that's how it works. Now he's just a crazy guy on the street who's like, I used to be a supervillain, guy playing chess with a pigeon. And you're like, that's it, problem solved. Just take his cash away.
I mean, technically, you're right. The only thing that, there's always like plot armor, right? Because they need these stories to keep going. But I think the ultimate lesson of Lex Luthor is a thing that we do see in real life, which is that at the point where you have that much money or that much influence, you can't strip people of that.
You can't.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Luthor's always got the loophole, or he's got like dirt on someone, or he blackmails someone, or he pays someone off. You actually, you're right. That is the strategy. And I think the lesson of Luthor is that you can't, which is unfortunately maybe the most realistic thing in those comics.
That's where that saying Lex is more comes from. All right, let's move on.
And today we have a returning guest, comedian, podcaster, writer, secret lover, Kyle Clark.
Hello.
not secret anymore.
It hasn't been secret for a long time.
I mean, it's been pretty open. It's you've outlasted like 2 relationships now.
Only 2?
Well, I mean that I can talk about publicly.
Fair enough. Oh, I apologize. I just blew up your spot. Wow.
Yeah.
So now here's the time to finally dig down into this character.
All right.
Neil says, let's talk Sandman. What do you think is the biggest success or contribution of this series to comics in general? How do you feel about how it kind of crossed in and out of the continuity with regular DC?
So we kind of touched on the crossing in and out thing, but yeah, if we had to pin down like what is like the thing that Sandman brought that sort of changed the game, what would you say that was?
For me, I think that Sandman is almost in itself kind of its own history of modern comics in one book, because it pulls artistically and writing wise from old EC stuff from like the 50s, and then also superhero stuff from the Silver Age and Bronze, and then the weird kind of like horror tinge stuff of like the Bronze Age, and then filters all of that through the like Alan Moore, Frank Miller vision of 80s comic books into this thing that like takes everything and spins it into its own unique voice that shows that like comics don't have to be this segregated art form and instead can be all things to all people in one book. You just have to be one of the best working comic book writers of the time.
Yeah. If you can at least be that.
Like, if you, well, and it's funny because, like, you can pitch Sandman kind of as a superhero book where it's like, well, it's about a pale dude who has magic powers and he stops bad dream creatures. But if you pitch it that way, you're an asshole. But you can. Like, but at the same time, you could also pitch it as, well, do you ever, like, look at Superman and go, yeah, but is there, what is the concept of God like in a world where Superman exists? Because Neil Gaiman was like, well, I have an idea, and it fucking works.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how such like they are such like disparate ideas, but again, they like it doesn't feel unnatural when they make contact with each other. I mean that depends. That depends a little bit on the nature of the contact and who's writing that particular instance. But like but as a concept, it doesn't feel wrong to have things like the dreaming encounter other things like, you know, the Phantom Zone or whatever the hell. I think in Morrison's map of the multiverse, Phantom Zone and like the dreaming and things like that occupy the same sort of sphere. They're that like sphere of the gods kind of region.
Well, that seems to be the thing that, like, Morrison has really, like, got DC by the balls on, is that DC seems to be like, I feel like he may be the only person who actually understands what we made.
Yeah, they need to,
so, like it feels like they've got to keep him around, because he will justify, like, Marvel does not have a Grant Morrison who, like, will literally figure out a way to MacGyver all of their continuities together into one thing that makes it sound like they were all part of the same plan all along.
Exactly, yeah. They need to put his brain into, like, a bunch of old tapes, like, what's his fuck in the Winter Soldier.
The other thing I'll say about Sandman that I think is interesting is that it is a book that kind of starts out for its first 2 arcs organized kind of like a traditional superhero book. There's a villain. There's like a quest. There are side characters affected by that. And then it's funny because I feel like there's all those little one-off stories in and amongst, you know, like you have, you know, the first issue where like Death's really in it and things like that. And then you go through Dream County, and when it comes out the other side, it is like, I always feel like Seasons of the Mist is really the first time the book is Sandman. Like before that, it's all this kind of like prototype book that's getting figured out. And then all of a sudden 4 arcs in, like, you know, he's distracted with all these fun one-off stories that again feel like kind of a throwback to old world comics. And then it comes out the other end and it's like, now we're not only like ahead, like ahead of where all other comics are going. We're also no longer a book where we have to have like a big bad. Like all the arcs after that are just these weird existential stories of like, what if the devil quits being the devil? Or what if you have a lost family member that means that like, you know, that's a condemnation of like the concept of violence in your life, and like all these variations on that I think you had to like, they're like Neil Gaiman and Karen Berger and everybody working at Vertigo is like figuring this shit out as they go. You know, and it's funny because when you look at Sandman, it's almost organized at a certain point, basically how all modern TV is. You know, I think that Vertigo in a lot of ways not just influenced comics, but is how all TV storylines are structured now.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. That's a hell of an answer to this question. It's like the biggest impact of Sandman is what it did to TV.
Well, go back and look at Preludes and Nocturnes in a Doll's House and realize that is Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
For me, like, what I love about Sandman so much is that it like when you start describing him, it feels like overly complicated, but it's never really too heady when you start reading in. Like, it doesn't throw tons of bullshit at you and just hope that you get it. It's about like
I think most of. Oh, good.
I was just going to say, like, it's about like intricate, like interwoven lives between normal people and magical, sort of like otherworldly beings, and how so often like these lives are affected and often indirectly by Dream. Like, we all know Dream. We visit the like his domain every night.
Yeah.
And maybe like that's what makes Sandman great, I think.
I also think it's interesting that like most of Vertigo's books do a really good job of that classic comic book thing of like, you know, every book is somebody's first comic book. But I think that like with especially like classic Vertigo books, you can, if you jump on at the beginning of an arc, enough information is going to be contextually given to you that you can strap in and have a good time. Like, you know, with any of those books, like I think that the two best examples are like, I think like 100 Bullets is great for that because like, you know, the story kind of changes and like Graves is always there, but at the same time there's like stuff going on. Like, you know, the first one I ever read was Hang Up on the Hang Low because I'd heard it was a good story and I had no idea any of the rest of the stuff in 100 Bullets, but I loved that arc and I was like, oh, this is super cool. And I think that they do a really good job of, without having to have a previously on page that gives you a bunch of kind of confusing information, they just really organically bring you in with a start of a fresh story and you can follow that narrative. And as it goes along, you start to understand those relationships.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly said. This week, we are joined by writer, producer, creator, Heath Corson.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Very, very excited to have you here. This is our first DC writer.
Yeah.
No, come on. You have a DC podcast and I'm your first DC writer?
I know. With a lot of DC fans, but never a DC writer.
Well, I'll tell you something. I was a fan first, so, you know, that's how it works.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's head on to the next question, which comes from Raging G.
All right.
It's not Temperate G yet, but yeah.
So upset.
He's very upset. Raging G asks, I heard the opinion that The Killing Joke was adapted too faithfully. Not the bad girl stuff, but when it comes to dialogue and direction, but without understanding the reason behind it, making it look shallow. Do you agree? Also, was the Batman the Animated Series voice actors use the proper choice? I mean, which I would say always.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
I mean, we've kind of talked about this a little
proponent for
bit
that.
about, you know, like when about the idea of adapting something but still offering something new to it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in the second half of this one particularly. Do you Heath? Do you think that having such iconic voices like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill step into what is largely an Elseworldsy story, does that alter the context of it? Does that change expectations?
I think it was cool. I mean, for me as a fan, I thought it was really fun to have these guys sort of say, this is the sum of this relationship of these characters that we've been exploring for what now, 25 some odd years.
Yeah.
For me, that was a really cool, fun thing.
Definitely.
And I think it's one of the most unhinged versions of the Joker. So to hear Mark get to do it is pretty much a tour de force.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, for me, those are the voices I still hear in my head when I read comics and things like that too. You know, they're so ingrained because they've survived so many iterations. So to me, yeah, that didn't alter anything. I think the big thing for me in that movie was the inclusion of all of that sort of Batgirl stuff, right? Which is partly, I think, maybe to get the film to a certain length or things like that. But also maybe to try to explore the character a bit more, because the big criticism of Killing Joke is that Barbara's a prop.
Yeah.
And not a character. Now were you sort of like, do you know like the people that worked on that? Do you know what that process was like for them, taking something that's like so sort of beloved and trying to work on it?
I don't. I mean, I know who worked on it. I know it was Alan and Brian Azzarello who did the script. But I don't know the process that they went through. But it's I know that it's a really well-loved story. I think I question whether it remained relevant in this day and age.
Right.
And for me, the disconnect was, at the time, Brendan Fletcher was doing Batgirl, and they had worked really, and Babs Tarr and Cameron, and they had worked, Cameron Stewart, and they'd worked really hard at making this an upstanding character that people were looking up to, and all of a sudden like had this new look and this new feel and this new energy, and then to do this story that made her a victim and victimized her, I felt like the wrong time for that story for me.
Yeah.
But you know, that's one man's opinion. I'm still a big fan of the comic book, but I don't know if it holds up 100%. It feels like a really ugly, dark story for a really ugly, dark time.
Right.
And it was hard to revisit that world.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Killing Joke feels like these are not the words that I want to use, but it's the best I've got. It feels almost like a museum piece. Like you need to read it because it's important in the context of what came after. And obviously it, leads into Oracle and all of these kind of things like that. I mean, that wasn't the intention at the time, but Oracle comes out of that. So it's important to read it and to see like why it was such a big thing. But yeah, I think I'm tempted to agree that I don't know that it's a story that needs contemporary telling.
Yeah, a museum piece is a great way to put it. Like, I think you watch the 60s Adam West Batman, you read Killing Joke, and then you're into the Tom King sort of modern retelling, modernization of who is this guy and who are the people behind these masks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's so radically different from what that story is. So I think museum piece is actually a great way to put it.
Oh, well. Thank you.
That's awesome. And today we have a guest, actor, producer, host, comedian, master, Lucretia Lyon.
Thank you guys for adding the master part after I made a bit.
It's weird, actually. I had already written it down, and I just intuitively
I'm
knew.
the master of the dark arts, because the reason I love John Constantine is we're very much alike.
Ooh.
A twofold expert on this show. That's too many. That's 2 times more expertise than we usually bring to the table.
So you bring up Constantine. There's no way that you don't talk about the most famous, I think, Constantine series of books. Our first question comes from our favorite sexy space texter, Cosmic DM, who asks, since Hellblazer has like 21 volumes, are there any stories or arcs that stick out to you or that you consider must reads?
It's a good question, and I'm really trying to think because and I think much like Supernatural, like the show, is why Constantine and Hellblazer sort of stuck around too, and because there are a few big things here or there, but overall, it's just a pretty even kill book that's just like, yep, I'm magic and I'm badass and I'm gonna save this thing. And so, like, as far as big stories, I mean, of course, there's the overarching, Astra theme or whatever, and there's some cool villains here or there, but there's not even really a definitive villain in Constantine. And I think that's what makes the book last so long as far as the Hellblazer series. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty well just, and it's something you can jump in and get what's going on at any time. Like, you don't even have to start at book 1.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'll give the slightly obvious answer of you should read the story called Original Sins, which sort of highlights the Newcastle incident and things like that. There's a bit of Swamp Thing in there, which is kind of an important relationship because I think it's right at the end of that story where Swamp Thing realizes that he can possess John and use him to impregnate his wife.
Yeah, dude, and anything with Swamp Thing is just pretty awesome. I do love Swamp Thing.
Yeah, so that's in there. And then I've mentioned it before, but if you've seen the movie and you're like, oh, this is kind of a story I'm into, it's loosely based on a story called Dangerous Habits, which is about kind of John confronting mortality a little bit. It involves his smoking habits, and which we've established is very cool.
Yeah. Except for the fact that he gets cancer, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And I would say that's definitely my favorite story, and that was the reason I really did like the movie. Like, Keanu Reeves pretty well plays Keanu Reeves, which is great. I love Keanu Reeves. Again, half Canadian.
That's right. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. But yeah, it's the anniversary. It came out in 2005. But I think they picked a good movie, like a good story to make the movie about. And overall, it's really fun and it really captured the essence of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd put that up there. There's lots of stuff. It is such a huge series, but those are the two that always stick out to me because I think they're the two that if you're going to do a Constantine story for a cartoon or for a comic and you just need people to get the sense of him, what are the two big pieces you need? You need what happened in Newcastle, that he's he messed something up and he carries that guilt. He is a little bit a person that cares what happens to the people that he's involved with. And, a little bit. And then also that he is constantly finding these loopholes out of death. Those are the two big sort of anchor points to me, at least, of Constantine. So those stories make sense to me.
I think Haunted is also a really great story. When you get Joshua Wright, who's a magician that uses his ex-girlfriend in a horror of Babylon type of thing.
Yeah.
That's a great story. I think any of those would be really, really well.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on then to the next question, which comes from Brandon's got a few questions. Some people, when they heard about John Constantine, got real stoked. Yeah. So we got a few questions from a few of these people. But this one comes from Brandon M. Flick, who asks, is there a definitive take on the character for you? A single story or writer and or artist that you would hold up as an example of everything you need to know of John?
Well, I think you just got to go back to basics and just say Alan Moore. I mean, Alan Moore created John Constantine out of Swamp Thing. I mean, and that's where he first appeared. It wasn't until years later, really, that he got, Hellblazer and really became his own character.
It's true.
But yeah, I mean, Alan Moore is the one. And two, the thing is, John Constantine has stayed the same. I mean, Like, yeah, he wasn't.
That's true. They
revealed
haven't really
bisexual.
changed
Yeah.
that much about him as a general character, I think.
Other than that sort of brief blip in the New 52 where they tried to make him more superhero-y.
Oh, yeah.
But other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, you're right. He's been pretty consistent.
People have been pretty faithful to that original Alan Moore run.
No.
Yeah, the interesting thing too is that like Moore introduced Constantine. He's sort of this side character in Swamp Thing, but he's this magician that knows more about Swamp Thing than Swamp Thing does. Like, I think people forget that like Constantine is the character that teaches Swamp Thing about the Parliament of Trees, about his connection to the Green, like all of these like big major ideas that we take for granted in Swamp Thing about like being an avatar and all that kind of stuff. Like Constantine was the window to that. He was a character that was there through all of those sort of like revelations, which is sort of, it's kind of outrageous actually that like Swamp Thing didn't even make these discoveries himself. It was like Constantine was like, I know how this works.
And I think I've always been a big fan of Swamp Thing because, too, it early on had other mediums like television and movies. So, like, there was the Swamp Thing cartoon and, like, the Swamp Thing movie with Ray Wise, who I just love. So, yeah, like, you know, for me, Swamp Thing was definitely a big draw. And I think that's where I, you know, had initially fallen in love with John Constantine, where it's just like, this is the guy telling him who he is. And this is the guy that's known for just being there and being smart. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just actually pretty clever.
Well, and that's sort of like, that's also part of John's like, you know, get out of jail free thing is he's always got to be the guy that like knows the dirt on other people. Not necessarily in the Batman way where he's super prepared, but in like the blackmail way. like John always has something on someone. Like, I need something from you, but I've got something you need. And like, he's always sort of bartering, making deals, you know, like that's also sort of iconically Constantine.
He feels like one of the most grounded characters despite the role around him. I find that he feels the character you can attach yourself to the most because he's the most like human of a character who's clearly not that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's dealing with demons and angels and stuff like that, but he's a grifter. Like he's
Yeah, like, and I guess because my dad was a bit of a con man, and to me, being a comedian is very much like that. It's like grifting your way into getting things.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That's definitely part of the lifestyle, and the lifestyle that I've always seen. Not everybody is used to having a trench coat and an opening it up to sell tickets at a concert, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah, usually when I put on a trench coat.
You're like, you don't wear anything underneath. Yeah, that's usually the only reason to wear a trench coat these days.
I mean, that's why you're not allowed in the park anymore.
Or near the school.
Yeah.
So we have a couple guests on this episode. We're very excited. The first guest you may know if you are a fan of the Meme Boys podcast, Tom Goss. Woo! Hey, buddy.
What's up? How you guys doing? Can we all get more awkward right now? Yeah, let's do this.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. You guys had an uproarious applause at Mean Boys. I'm glad you guys are all. No, I'm kidding. I'm excited to be here. This is gonna be fun. Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun time.
So this is when the quiz starts about all your knowledge in DC. I hope you're prepared for that, right? I've just written a few notes. We're just gonna start.
Oh yeah. I hope all the questions are about Batman because I know about especially Christian Bale. You guys know Christian Bale? Yeah. Hell yeah! I flew to Canada to give Christian Bale a woo.
Welcome to the Christian Bale podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to Bale Hour.
Oh my god! Nice. It's actually called bail bonds. I appreciate if you call it by its proper name.
Bail bonds is when Bane breaks his back. I think that's what.
Your body.
Yeah, so we have a second guest. Right. If you guys were you guys at the show last night? That sounds like a yes to me. Absolutely. But you may know him from his roles in movies such as The Little Hours and Game Over Man on Netflix, or TV appearances such as 30 Rock, Comedy Bang Bang, and Nailed It. John Gabris. Woo!
Look, I'm a pro. I don't say anything till I'm at the mic.
I know. I appreciate that.
Dead silent until it's content, baby.
Is that the first time that you've been introed without actually mentioning a podcast?
Yeah, well, in LA, podcasts are my credits, but I guess in Yukon,
I mean,
I
clearly
actually was in a movie.
The internet's so expensive, we just got to rely on TV.
I'm honored. I never heard all 4 of them in a row.
Have either of you guys seen any of the Man of Steel onward DC movies? Like after Christian Bale, when they were like, we could do what Marvel's doing.
I've seen them all.
Yeah,
I haven't seen all of them, and here's where people are gonna hate me. I hate Superman.
No, you know what? That's actually not that crazy for this podcast.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It's funny. That's less controversial.
He's my
opinion, I
least
think.
favorite superhero or comic book character. He's just overpowered.
Right.
The thing every single time was like, but I saved them, but I saved the other guy. Like, how many times are we gonna do this? But my friends tell me there's some really interesting ones. There's and I want to read it. Where he lands in Russia instead of the States.
Yeah, that book's called Red Sun. It's like an alternate history, and he's brought up like communist, and he's not like explicitly evil, but he's like raised in a totalitarian regime. So like his definition of what is good is different.
I'm
really
not a
good
fan of Superman either, although Henry Cavill is on the top of my list.
Well, he's a snack.
The top of my bottom list.
That's the one thing. I think that's the one thing.
I'm straight, and I would try bottoming if Henry Cavill was game.
That's how I feel.
I saw
about
Mission
Momoa.
Impossible in the theaters, and I researched bisexuality after.
But honestly,
did you move on the Kinsey scale?
Yeah, I was
after
like,
the movie?
oh wait, it's like my gay friends were like, there's a chance you can be kind of gay, and I was like, all right, I think I am, because I'm sweating watching this movie. I think I like mustaches.
It's kind of how I felt about Aquaman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gets on that sub, and he says permission to come aboard, and I think I said yes.
Your wife's like, quiet. Please come aboard. Come wherever you want, Aquaman.
Her version of that is when we went to go see Civil War, and he's holding the helicopter. When he flips the grip, she went, ugh. Loud enough for everyone to hear.
Yeah, no, I fucking got a tilt in my kilt when Chris Evans. I'm more of a Thor guy. But Chris Evans holding that chopper, holy shit. That's right in my wheelhouse. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be him or be inside him. I'll take either. How come, now I'm just screaming, how come superheroes aren't ever fat? Like, superpowers, if you have super strength, that you don't have to be ripped.
This is like a big conversation, especially when you talk about Superman, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no
Why
reason.
is he ripped? Yeah. He's an alien.
This is my dad's number one gripe with Superman. He's like, what could he possibly lift to get shredded?
Right.
He's like, where's the resistance? He's like,
how does he tear muscle fibers to create slow twitch muscles?
Yeah, my dad's great at reading comics.
In the kitchen, they say that all the time. I'm here from Blue Apron to tell you that.
You guys get podcast sponsors this far north?
Ours is a grooming company.
All right, fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah. The only city with more beards per capita than my household.
Looking at this group, it looks like it's a police lineup for like a crime that happened at like a brewery festival or something.
It's like someone shuffled the Evolution of Man poster.
I mean, clearly,
let you figure out where you are on that thing.
I don't want to.
None of us are winners.
Yeah, no. Whatever the crime was, I'm pretty sure Tom did it. But, so there is a theme for this episode. We've reached out to our.
We'll let you get to it.
Yeah, I doubt we'll stay on topic. But the theme for this episode is sidekicks. So we reached out, we got some questions, but we definitely are willing to take some from the crowd. But why don't we dive into a little bit of the ones that we got?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
The history. I mean, sidekicks. I mean, I think for most people, the first sidekick you're really introduced to is like Robin.
Yeah.
I think, right? I mean, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Even as a child, you're just like, I don't think I believe that. Like, it's like,
well, it's like. Forget Leaving Neverland. It's Leaving Wayne Manor. The new HBO documentary.
I mean,
Robin's parents from Beyond the Grave were like, we were doing trapeze, and he seemed to have fun. It was just Batman is in Arrested Development. It's Peter Pan syndrome.
goes through them really quick. He clearly like has a certain age because as soon as I get beyond that, I mean, holy Child Protective Services, that guy likes getting orphans. But
As soon as they get body hair, Batman's like, lose them.
It's like, why don't you take on the Joker by yourself this time?
Do any superheroes have like hairy chests? Why are they all? Do they all shave, or is that?
Well,
like
that's something I like about Henry Cavill too. Something I like about Henry Cavill. It's like,
Oh,
ooh,
fuck yeah.
something to grab.
I like to Velcro my beard to his chest hair.
oh my
Sorry,
God.
you said we got questions.
Yeah,
You were worried that we would be too male-centric in this podcast?
3 white, hairy, like chubby dudes. Yeah, I can't imagine that would be an issue.
Yeah, well, welcome to Heroes We Fucked.
A hilf.
All right, so let's get to the first question, which is from. Oh, you're gonna have to do stupid songs now. I forgot. Yeah.
You make me do the drops.
This is when you have all the regret from the stupid shit you created alone in an office, and now we have
I
to
don't
do it
feel that bad. Gamers has to introduce his podcast after this.
Don't remind me.
So we're going over to Facebook.
Go to the face in the book. Go to the Facebook.
It's just like top quality music we create here,
Normally we're alone in a room when we record this. It's not as embarrassing.
amongst other things. But yeah,
Wait. It took you till now to be self-conscious about having a DC comic book podcast?
Well, sometimes it is
I
true.
really
like,
thought-
sometimes you wear an outfit that you wear around the house and feel awesome in. You wear it out in front of people, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And you're like, "All right, I needed fresh eyes on this."
Jesus Christ. So the first question comes from Richard Waltmath, who asks, "Do any villains have sidekicks, and would Harley can be considered a sidekick?"
Well, yeah, let's talk about Harley Quinn.
Oh,
She
yeah.
showed up in the cartoon first before she
Yeah.
was ever in the comics.
Oh, bats!
Yeah, like,
Oh, Mr. J. Oh, Mr. J.
that voice has kind of been ruined now because it's in every porno.
You
No,
say
there's one-
ruined.
I mean, that's what the research tells me.
I'm so jealous. You get to watch with volume.
Mr. J, I didn't realize we were
I'm usually in the
related.
back of a lift with it on mute. Or back of a cab. Let me use the difference.
But yeah, Harley Quinn. I mean, like everyone's seen the Halloween costumes.
Yes.
Harley Quinn's like kind of-
Everyone here's seen Suicide Squad 10 to 15 times, right?
Oh, everyone's favorite. Yeah, you have.
It's the #1 movie. It's the best movie.
Yeah,
I
she
got
was
my
like-
own Suicide Squad. We're going to stop. They're coming through the border, the caravan. We're sending death strokes going. We got everyone.
Bin Laden.
We were able
Put
to
a
stop
wall
Bin
around
Laden.
Gotham.
We got the Latino fire guy, the black gator guy.
BET.
That movie is fucked up. I'm like, how are you racist against crocodiles, but you managed to do it?
Look at Star Wars. I think they figured out how to make a lot of characters racist.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, Harley Quinn's a character who's like obsessed with the Joker and then kind of becomes his like sidekick. Other than Suicide Squad, like is that like something that rings a bell for you, Tom? Do you are you familiar with Harley Quinn?
Yeah. No, I'm I learned about Harley Quinn because my ex was her for Halloween. That's how it is. Yeah. I learned.
Wait,
about-
so now which version? Like the booty short Suicide Squad one, or like the full latex jester?
No. The slut version.
He said Halloween.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. Well, that's one thing. Like the sidekicks. The sidekicks are more of like a comic book thing and a kind of like. There's a different generation now because now it's all about teams and they're trying to divide up all the characters.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not as I did not see Suicide Squad. I did see The Dark Knight though. Does that give me? I'm gonna tell
not
you guys
in the same
that
league at all.
40 times. Every time you're like, okay, yeah. I feel like
This guy's trying to get credit for seeing The Watchmen 10 years ago on a DC podcast.
I'm trying to get credit for used to be dating someone who watched Suicide Squad right now.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, well, then you're a perfect guest.
Yeah.
You had a girlfriend? Whoa.
Yeah. When Richard asked,
Scrap the theme. Tell us.
yeah, he was like, would you want to do the podcast? Like, oh yeah, sure. Is it okay if I bring nothing to the table though?
Why start now, Tom? I'm just here to fuck this up for you guys.
I'm glad I'm not the only one any longer.
Well, I want to flip it around. Like I don't think it works to have, like, for most villains to have a sidekick because they're kind of
That was the
they're
question.
kind of like
That's right.
malicious loners, right? But like, are there ones that you
It
think
makes sense.
like
It's there's always like a sidekick that is like, but the status is fucked up when it comes to villains. I
Yeah.
think because it always ends feeling like Dr. Frankenstein and Igor. You know, it always feels like the sidekick is like even Harley Quinn, or I'm trying to think of other Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
Well, other villain sidekicks. That's it. I'm tapped.
Wow.
It used to be that way with the heroes too. I mean, there's that famous like what is it, meme of Batman just bitch slapping Robin. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like they used to be dicks and sidekicks
Yeah.
too.
There's one example.
I knew a thing. There we go.
There's one example I can think of where there's like a Batman. There's Batman villains called Wrath and Scorn, where they're basically like knockoff Batman, but they're criminals. And so like Wrath is the Batman and Scorn is the sidekick. But that's only because they're trying to knock off Batman and Robin. It's not like they like were like, you're into crime, I'm into. Do you want to help me with the crime?
The problem with a villain having a sidekick is that if the hero needs to square off with them, the sidekick of the villain is too low status.
Yeah.
They feel nerfed. Like they don't come across as powerful if they're the sidekick.
Yeah.
So they need to be like equally dangerous so that the stakes stay high.
Yeah.
Like if you're running through Justice League and all the sidekicks are like, whiny little bitches, you're like trash through them, and then it's like, who cares? Like you got to add some levity to it.
Yeah, totally.
Did you guys like the Justice League movie? I know I just.
I
would say Ben Affleck is a pretty solid Batman.
Oh,
He is.
I
like,
love Ben Affleck.
I mean, the literal definition of solid. He's a big boy. It's first big Batman.
DC's got
Daddy thick for
DC
sure.
has the market cornered up.
can barely get in his fucking cowl. I think I outgrew my cape, Alfred.
So I did see that one. It was the third worst movie I saw on an airplane that year. It was, it was like, you know what the problem with that movie was? Is there was like such great moments, and then between each moment just piles of unwatchable shit.
Yeah.
And this is just my opinion.
I saw it for my birthday because I was obviously super excited, and watching it was grinning like an idiot. Like I was just like, oh, it's not a Green Lantern. I was just like having a great time, and then like later at home, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know that I liked that.
That's exactly my Phantom Menace story. Like, I convinced myself the whole drive home from the mall that I was like, the guy with the red and black face was actually pretty cool. And then I slept on it and woke up and I took a shower like the end of the Crying Game. I was like, oh.
You guys are wrong. That movie's great. I love the Phantom Menace.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Crying Game.
I don't know that game, but I know the Phantom.
Pod racing could totally be real. It's fine.
Yeah, I think we.
Are there other villain sidekicks? I can't even think of any.
Other than that, there's lots of goons.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
they
they
all
don't-
have like their cronies that like remember to wear purple so they know who you work for. But yeah, I mean, there's not necessarily like I just don't think it works because it implies some sort of mentorship. Like there's growth potential in this.
One day,
job.
all this could be yours.
In Burton's Batman, Nicholson's Joker has Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's sort of
Yeah.
like a sidekick, but not really.
He's just like chief goon.
Right, yeah, he's like head goon.
Yeah.
That's where normally villains don't have sidekicks, they have someone that they can monologize to.
Well, and I think
they have
it's
someone
like-
that they could put what's the word I'm looking for here? Exposition to
Yes, yeah.
in a movie.
Yeah. Well, and they're like probably paying them like a
Right.
cut. They're like, as opposed to just like, you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You want to.
You don't think Robin had health insurance through the Wayne Corps?
There's no way. Batman's springing for health insurance. The way they
Robin's
die.
like, it's great. Batman does 401k match. Are those even things in Canada? I don't know. I don't have one in America, so I barely know what I'm talking about there.
Bane, Dark Knight again, was
Yes.
technically, oh, don't you dare.
Yes. Welcome to Banecast.
He was a sidekick in the third Dark Knight.
Well, yeah, because you find out that
technically,
he's
yeah.
working
Yeah,
for
technically.
Talia al Ghul. Yeah.
Yeah, see, smart observations made by me.
Interesting.
Very good.
Another smart observation from the same movie.
I hope you guys have all seen The Dark Knight because
There's gonna be a lot of that today.
If you guys came to a DC podcast taping and haven't seen The Dark Knight, arguably the only good DC movie of the last 10 years.
You're in the wrong room.
you guys really, this is like if you brought in like Michael Jordan to like a hockey convention. Like there's no. It's just.
I'm sorry. Are there hockey conventions?
And what are you the Michael Jordan of?
Fucking things up, really. Yeah, that's. You know what? I said that. I was like, oh man, I hope no one asks.
And we're back.
Hey, that was amazing.
Wow.
I loved listening to all of that.
All of those people were great. Except for that one. You know who you are.
Hashtag you know who you are.
That's right. Well, speaking of some great guests, we have two here, and we've got a bunch of questions for them.
Yeah, we asked for questions specifically directed for you two. Some of them are about us. Some of them are about comics. Some of them are about the podcast.
The first answer is yes, we are both real.
When you say it like that, it makes it sound like you're paid
I
to be
am
here.
real.
Yes.
Activating response. Affirmative.
We are not paid to be here.
Processing data. Data not found.
Lie commencing. We are real. Okay. Quick. Another question.
Proceed with sex mode. No, not now. Not now.
Shh. Shh. Shh.
All right. Well, we got a ton of questions today, so let's dive in.
Proceed with sex mode. You fucking maniac.
I want to say I'm shocked. I'm not shocked.
No, you shouldn't. Let's go on over to Facebook.
Go do the face and the book. Go do the Facebook.
First question comes from Chad.
Bogle, bogle, bogle.
Jesus.
Wow.
Whoa. Can you see it from there?
Was that just a guess?
I know everything.
Wow.
Richard has no secrets.
Yeesh.
She's like wiretapped your computer.
No, I have superpowers.
Oh,
when you're in here working, she like sets the TV to just clone your screen, just watching.
Oh God. God, incognito mode doesn't do anything.
No, it sure doesn't.
All right, let's see what Chad has to ask. I've been told that... Oh, God, this is a long question, Chad. I've been told that geeks don't need to date/marry other geeks because it's completely fine to have hobbies your significant other doesn't get involved in.
Damn straight.
And yet, most married geeks I come across share a portion, if not all, of their fandoms with their significant other. So are you and your wives both geeks in some respect? Well, I would hope that we at least are.
With each other.
Yeah, well, yeah. You mean our other wives. Do you honestly consider that one of the pillars of your bond outside of love, respect, etc.?
My favorite part of that question is that pillars of your bond, and then in brackets it's like outside, like, and yeah, love, respect, etc.
Assuming that that's part of it.
I mean, don't assume.
Yeah.
Chad.
This is all physical.
Marriage.
So, as people married to us, is the geekiness, is the nerddom or fandom of things? Do you feel like that's important at all to these relationships?
I think because it makes such a large part of our individual lives that, yeah, it is needed. Because otherwise we'd be living two very separate lives.
Right.
I don't think that we right away bonded on these things. I think it's kind of been like a journey.
So for example, for you and Richard, what are your separate things that like each of you has had to like learn from the other?
Well, I mean, that is kind of a question that's coming up, but
oh, sorry. Okay. Fine. Jesus.
Wow.
Never mind. End of question.
Do you want to know the things that like overlap?
Yeah. Where do you overlap? Yeah. What do you have in common?
Richard?
Or what did you?
Well, there's one that just came up.
BattleBots.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing. That's a big one.
What is it about BattleBots? Why do you love it so much? Not that I don't love it.
It's our sports. Shut up.
Well, we didn't actually know until we got cable.
Right.
And
Sweet,
I got super
cable.
excited.
Sign up for our Patreon.
Yeah. That BattleBots was on. BattleBats. BattleBats.
We're from Wisconsin.
Yeah, BattleBots. And I got super excited. And there was an old conversation between Richard and I where I came up with my own BattleBot like years and years and years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
And my BattleBot was called Sexual Predator.
Of course it was.
I mean, you guys are made for each other.
Of course
My
it
God.
was.
We were not married yet.
No.
And
That was when he knew.
its only enemy.
Yeah, he bought the ring 30 seconds out of the conversation.
You said sexual predator, and I knew.
She either found out about me or We were meant to be together.
No, and so
You had to lock
someone,
that down so you couldn't be forced to testify.
someone commented on social media asking if like it had dildos all over it, and I'm like, no, you sicko. I'm like, it has a chat window. Like, come on. Don't be crazy.
It chats with the other bot.
And its only enemy is Chris Hansen with a stool.
Chris Hansen has come up, I'd say, too much on this podcast.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
whole screen just says ASL question mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, far too much. I mean, I don't want to like bring him out.
It,
so,
like, boots
you know,
up
if you say his name too many
ICQ.
times.
Summon him.
Oh my
yeah.
god, old school MSN Messenger.
Well, because it's an old guy. Like,
Right.
you know, all he has to reference is ICQ.
Sure, yeah.
MySpace chat.
Oh.
Ugh.
I've
So
got
anyways,
freezer full of
So
police.
BattleBots is a relatively new thing, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's also been like, I mean, it's a thing that both of us separately liked, and I think that like
Video games.
video games was
Sure,
one
yeah.
of the big first ones, I think, for us, because that was the thing that I was doing all the time, and she really didn't really have a direction in, and then I was like, well,
I was like, I don't understand
Try
these new
this.
games.
I'm
They
just
make
trying to
me-
spend time with you, Richard. And he's like, here, don't talk to me, but use this controller.
Let's go.
no, I'm the
well,
controller.
He gave me some games to play, and
The first one was Tomb Raider, because I was like,
Nice.
it's a female lead. It's
don't label me.
Chicks love this. You misogynist.
I just thought it was an easier way in if there was some of that you
Yeah,
could
they can't
recommend.
handle anything.
the woman,
you ass.
the woman is the easier way in.
I mean, depending on the woman.
Jesus.
Get out.
But one day he came home from work, and I was already home. I took a half day,
Right.
Because I could do whatever I wanted. And
Ran your own business. That's
yeah,
all,
yeah, entrepreneur. And he found me like under the covers on the couch, just playing Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
for like the entire day.
Right.
For the third day,
Right.
it became a problem that year. The first year she started playing video games, I think she beat like 10 of like the biggest video games of the last 10 years.
That's a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, like it was crazy how many games she beat that summer.
And I discovered that I'm really good at Assassin's Creed.
Well, it's because you like stealth killing. That's the thing that you
In games.
It's a. Well, her mother once asked her what she wanted to be as a child, and she said that she wanted to be an assassin.
It was a professional killer.
a professional killer.
Yeah. That's how they prefer to be referred to.
Yeah, sorry, it's the 2019 version. But yes, she was. Yeah, that's a. That,
I don't even remember ever saying that. It's just a story that my mom tells.
clearly, I mean, that would stick with me.
Now,
Mother.
what would you say? What would you say was our like nerdy thing we had in common? I know how I would answer, but I'm curious if you feel the same way.
Well, first of all,
Jason Momoa.
theater.
That's basically what I was going to say.
Yeah, like we're theater nerds.
We're big old theater
We
nerds.
are
Yeah.
huge theater nerds
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
But yeah, we started dating at the Stratford Festival. That's
many
basically
boys, how
only a
many
shout out for
girls?
people from Canada.
I hope I get it. God, I hope I get it.
It's not all chorus.
How
line.
many people does he need?
How many boys? How many girls?
How many people does he need?
You're
Oh
welcome.
God, I need this job. Please, God, I need this job.
But yeah, that would probably be our. And we had a surprise overlap. Hockey.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and football.
You
No, not football.
no, that's not you.
No, he got that from me.
yeah.
We'll go there later.
That's an ingratiate myself to the family sort of move.
Smart.
But you actually played hockey.
Yeah.
Like pretty competitively.
Yes.
And I'm just into it.
Yeah.
But I think that is surprising because I'm basically like not athletic and a huge theater nerd.
Well, except for that you were karate man.
Yeah, but I suppose so. But it's not like a team sport, right? Like I'm not like
But
That's
it,
true.
it's funny for
I wasn't the
There can only be
quarterback or
one.
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, like for how old we are, we have quite a
Lone
big
wolf.
knowledge of hockey, like pre our birth date.
Yeah.
You know, like we talk a lot about hockey players from like the 60s and 70s.
The good old days.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's my favorite coach? Punch Imlach.
All Bobby Bond all the time. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, hockey definitely is a thing. I think that counts as like a nerd thing or a fan thing. Like,
Yeah.
really, what's the difference between someone that knows all of the stats?
Those are the
for-
guys that beat me up.
Well, but really, it's just like It's just like the jock equivalent of being a nerd. You know all their stats. You know how many goals or how many seasons or whatever.
Where they came-
I know what all the
school they
different
came
colors
from.
of kryptonite do. Like, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you told all the guys in high school.
It's basically the same thing. So when you're beating me up, it's really like you're beating yourself up. Ow, no!
Sports is really just all about numbers. If you really think about it,
You're hurting me.
it's all about statistics.
My arm.
And we have a new one. We have a new one that we bond over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takakesho.
Sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling's a big one now.
Yeah, that's a big thing in our house.
Really,
My-
your
my-
dad really
My
like got
dad
you
is
guys
super into
it.
it, and he got like we watched the March tournament with him, and then we watched the May tournament on our own.
Wow.
And
we're Brenda has a guy. His name is Takakesho. He just made Ozeki, which is the champion rank, and then he had to pull out with an injury. And Brenda almost cried, and then asked if we were going to keep even watching the tournament. Like there was no point if he wasn't
furious.
in there.
I believe what I actually said was, no, honey, no. I believe that's exactly what I said.
Okay, but to the heart of Chad's question, beyond having things that we have in common, do you think that it's like? Do you think like sharing those nerdy things are like important foundations of the relationship, or just a fun thing that develops over time when you're with someone?
Well, I think I don't know how you guys are, but the stuff that we share, like a lot of our communication is in the form of pop culture references.
That's true.
So when we try to explain things to each other, or if we're having like sometimes we can share more.
Romantic moment.
We like sometimes we can share more or communicate more.
I saw Mrs. Krabappel and Principal Skinner in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies' hand. The baby looked at me.
But that's
Now take off your pants.
well, like don't you think that sometimes like we can say
Yes.
more to each other with a pop culture reference than with tons of in-depth communication?
That's true. I do agree there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
I guess we have like the regular marriage stuff, like love and respect and whatever. Chad.
I think you killed Jessica.
But yeah, I think
Stop. She's already dead.
no, stop. But yeah, I think it's just as important, at least in our relationship.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard. I think it would be difficult to imagine being close enough to someone to like actually have a relationship that's built on anything meaningful if you're not at least a little bit a part of a thing that they put that much passion into.
Well,
right?
also,
Like,
I think it
I don't think you
shows-
can completely wall that side off. You don't have to be 100% into everything. I'm not 100% into all of the things you're into.
I think it's important.
And likewise,
Yeah.
but you need to be at least a little bit, or at least into the idea that they're into something.
Well, I think it's important to be different people at the end of the day,
Yes,
so that
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that kind of like keeps some sort of mystery and like it keeps things interesting, right?
Yeah.
But at the same point, you also want to have things in common so that you have like touchstones. So it's like when it's like you spend all day with each other and there's nothing new to talk about. At least like there's these sort of touchstones like through pop culture and nerdisms and stuff that you can talk about. I mean, we also have like times of the year that are really important for Geek World. So we go through like Harry Potter every Christmas, right? And like once a year we like watch through like the entirety of some sort of like geek television series.
Sure,
And
yeah.
I think
E3.
well, yeah, E3's happening
E3 right now, yeah.
We watch so much Lord of the Rings.
Well, I bet, yeah. And there's really not that much. There's just 3. Like
I watched those movies like start to finish, like the complete trilogy.
Extended cut.
Probably more than a dozen times a year.
really?
Yeah.
There's so
Seriously.
many good other things that exist. There's Mass Effect.
And my axe.
Our daughter is 14 months old. She's probably seen it at least 3 times.
That's insane.
Yes.
There's so
I
many
can't
other
carry
things.
it for you, but I can carry you. That's me making Brenda watch Lord of the Rings.
Are you guys
And
excited?
she knows all the words,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God.
Her first words were Mr. Frodo.
Are you guys excited for the TV show?
Yeah, because they just dropped that it's all going to be about the Second Age. It's about Numenor.
Okay, I asked you guys though.
Sorry, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to get excited.
You're gonna watch it regardless. So
Because I'm never going to stop hearing about it.
yeah.
Well, Chad, I think you just got your answer.
There we go.
Hashtag marriage, Chad. Hashtag marriage.
It's a pillar. It's a pillar, whether you want it to be or not.
Yes, that's probably the way to put
Yeah,
it.
it's that random pillar under the house that you're not sure what it's supporting, but
Yeah.
it's there anyway.
Is this structural? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not focus too
Let's
much.
not
on
open
it.
up that
yeah,
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. The next question comes from our old friend Chicken Maddie.
Bok.
Wow, we're adding a new thing now.
Oh, you know.
Wow.
You
2
have all the
years
fun usually, so.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
No, year 3 is my year.
It's the year of
Finally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Be funny. Yeah. Shut up.
Would he?
Well, Matthew Poulter asks, ladies, do your fellas have any fandoms that, try as you might, this is a great question, you just can't get into?
Right.
Fellas, same question.
Okay, well, ladies, you first.
Lord of the Rings.
No, actually, I quite like Lord of the Rings.
Wow, yeah, I'm sure if that Stockholm syndrome has really kicked in.
No offense to the wonderful people who have created it, worked on it, made it the phantasma that it is today. But no matter how hard I try, Star Trek TNG, I just can't.
What? Star Trek
Can't
in
do it.
general. She like
Hey,
what?
I like the new movies.
Oh sure.
Get
Sorry.
out.
No, you're right. You like the Kelvin timeline stuff.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But I can't.
You are outnumbered
Remember
in
that
this
time
room.
that Data has feelings? Like, I can't.
The problem is she always walks in when it's one of like the weird episodes, like Dr. Crusher
pregnant.
fucks a candle ghost or whatever.
Senor
like,
Frank.
Senor Frank.
Nope.
She always walks in on a weird episode where it's like Worf tried prune juice, and she's
you-
like, "This is the show you like."
Did you sit her down and make her watch the flute episode?
She won't do it.
No.
You need all the backstory for the flute episode.
Yeah, you can't just drop it in
And
there.
you know what? There are things
She
that-
doesn't like the movie. I did sit her to. What did I make you watch? Generations or First Contact?
both.
Oh, God.
Both.
She didn't even really like First Contact, and that's the good one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
She's
sorry. I'm
crossed
sorry,
the line.
guys. I'm
She
sorry,
once fell
listeners
asleep
at
in the
home.
Wrath of Khan.
I mean, I get it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. A lot of the original series stuff I'm just not into.
It's the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
I do like the one where Picard.
leave
I like
you
the
just
moment
as
where
you left
Picard
me.
meets Shatner. And Shatner wants to ride the stupid horse.
Yeah, he would only do the movie if
and
they
he's
let him
like
ride a
chopping
horse.
wood.
Yeah. And they were like, "Bill, this movie takes place in space," and he was like, "Make it happen."
Yeah, like that one was fine, but I like the new stuff. Like
Discovery?
No.
She hasn't watched. She likes the Abrams verse, like the Kelvin.
well, then
timeline.
you would love Discovery. It's in the same sort of vibe. So,
You know,
visually,
they might
definitely,
break
yeah.
my heart the way that Anton Yelkin broke my heart.
well, yeah.
Go to heaven.
He can do that.
I'm gonna leave you as you left me in a room for all eternity in the center of a dead planet, buried alive.
That's
Yeah.
the one you always go to, and I always go to. I'll chase him around the Antares maelstrom and through perdition's flames before I let him go.
It's only because I used that clip for one of my punk bands for one of the beginning of one of the songs.
Of course you did. But yeah, so that was that like and I
Star
have
Trek's a big
tried
one,
and
yeah.
I have tried desperately.
That hurt all of our feelings.
I'm
in
sorry,
here.
guys. I'm sorry.
As Jessica and I like screamed no.
I'm sorry, Dave Rossi. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah. God, what is Dave gonna think?
I know.
Did you think about Dave?
I know I didn't.
What
I'm
about
sorry.
Dashel?
Dashel, turn it off.
I'm so sorry.
Hug your dad.
Yeah.
So how about you?
The one of yours that I can't get into.
Yes.
It's like old timey, like golden age Hollywood movie musicals.
So like basically
like Fred and Ginger.
pre
like,
1960.
Yeah. There's a couple of exceptions. Like I really like An American in Paris with Gene Kelly. There's some that are like fine. Like what was it? Fly Me Down to Rio or Top Hat? Which one? No. Gay Divorcee I liked.
Yeah, Gay Divorcee you liked.
I don't mind Singing in the Rain, but for the most part, those old movie musicals, I just like.
Did you like La La Land?
I didn't watch it because I sort of felt like it was going to be
Yeah.
that. But like Easter Parade, I don't like.
Did you like La La Land?
I enjoyed parts of La La Land.
What's the one where the French guy sings about little girls in the
Gigi.
beginning? Gigi, I didn't like that one.
1958.
Yeesh, that was a bad
Little
song.
girls, whatever the song is.
Wow.
It's basically like a pedophile song. Good. I basically I don't.
She's only 17.
But in France, that's 2 years older than necessary.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the one. You really love that. That sort of informed a lot of your like theater love. Is that particular sort of era? You know, big dance numbers, really like nicely dressed, like tuxes and big flowy gowns. Like visually, I kind of get it, but like the stories are always shit. The music isn't the kind that gets at me. And like the acting is just like, oh my God, just do another song. Stop pretending that you're a character. It's like, it really like hurts me a lot.
Yeah, so that's probably ours.
I think those are definitely ours.
How about you folk?
I don't know. Like ever since that TNG comment, like
I can't get over it now.
I can't. It's all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, love.
The line must be drawn here and no further.
There's got to be there's a bunch of stuff that of mine that you don't like.
Oh yeah, music.
Just generally. Specifically the music you made.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I like one
That's
song.
a whole other thing.
You like one song?
Yeah, there was one
Didn't you
song.
make like 12 bands?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
With a lot of records in between.
Well, like Richard and I, we're from different generations.
Yeah, 2 years apart.
We come from different worlds.
We're a year. I thought you were the one that was always like a year and a half.
Yeah, unless it helps me more.
Of course. So Richard's really into the pop punk stuff. I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
Emo.
you hate that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, your emo episode, I'll never listen to
No.
it.
What?
To be fair, she won't listen to any of the
but
episodes.
I had so many feels in that one.
Yeah, this podcast is probably one of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
It does
yeah.
take you away from her for hours at a time.
No, that's the good part.
No,
So
like
sorry.
music.
What type of music is your jam then? If you don't like what Richard does.
Well, Richard, go ahead.
She really likes like 80s hair metal bands.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
She really,
yeah, I should have guessed that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
She really likes a lot of the like 80s and very early 90s and like punk bands.
Right.
So very specific ones, but
Yeah.
I also like yacht rock and 70s singer songs.
But I like that. I like
Yes.
that too.
Yacht
That's-
rock. Thank you.
I'm into that. That stuff's really good. She's into a lot of like I'd say for me the things that she's really into are like especially a lot of like really slow like 60s and 70s movies. I just can't.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Like Mississippi Burning.
Well, like
Chinatown. Great movie.
Those are good movies.
Great movie.
Chinatown's fantastic.
Yeah.
the one that
In the
Like-
heat of the night.
Okay, funny short
movies.
little story.
oh god.
There's this movie. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Easy Rider.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait, who hasn't heard of Easy Rider? Oh, for fuck's sake. You haven't heard of Easy Rider?
So I thought
So Richard's question when I reacted, he's just like, "Are there cars in it?"
because I don't know, Easy Rider. It sounds like
This is the equivalent of what Mrs. DC just said about Star
no,
Trek.
that's not the same. You are not that passionate about fucking Easy Rider.
I mean, come on. Man.
So Richard watched the whole movie, and at the end,
Fuck that fucking movie.
he lost his shit at the ending.
You didn't like it?
Are you fucking kidding me? It's just like
Sounds like when we watched My Fair Lady.
Well, yeah.
yeah, where everybody dies at the end.
Yeah.
Well, no, she
The
went
version
back.
of My Fair Lady that I've got.
Yeah.
No, she goes back to him, and it drove him fucking bananas.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that.
It's also not how the play ends.
Yeah, I
It's not the play.
I know.
but there's a lot of the like
I like a lot of B movies.
yeah,
A lot of like
I'm a bee.
yeah, a lot of bad movies. And Richard only likes them in like the context of MST3K.
Right.
Whereas I'll watch them regardless.
like a lot of the MST3K movies, she was like, "Oh, I just saw that movie on its own."
Right. Like Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Like Forbidden Planet, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like lots
The
of
Day the
Ed
Earth
Wood.
Stood Still.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Klatu Barada Nikto.
yeah.
What?
There's there's also a lot of like I think in general comic books are not a thing that she enjoys.
Sure.
I like movies.
Sure.
I like the storyline. I've never.
You like the artwork?
Yeah, I love the artwork.
Yeah.
In a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard for me to get into actually reading a comic
So like
book.
the actual format, like
Yes.
you don't like following the panels, following the narration boxes, that
Right.
sort of thing.
This is a very common thing for people who can't get into comics.
Yeah, I think that's relatively, and modern comics have made that more complicated. You know, panels aren't.
yeah.
It's not just like 6 panels equal proportions now. There's all sorts of artistry, and like you got to read it in a spiral for this one or whatever. Like there's a lot more sort of playing with the form now. So it's easier now to read a comic than it was in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
wait, if there's like audio dictation that'll just read it to me in the proper order.
Yeah, but then you
You
want
like
to
an audio comic?
But you
Yes.
Yeah.
but you want to still see the thing, but then someone else is just reading the text.
Yeah.
I don't think that exists.
Like narrated.
I don't think that exists.
Well, let's do it.
I think that's called an animated movie.
I mean, although I will say, if you want to look for it, check YouTube because someone out there might do it on their own.
That's
like
true.
As a passion project. Someone might put the panels up and read the thing out. It doesn't exist as like a subscription service, but
Like
you
an
might
audio
find
book.
You might find, but you still want the visual, right? Or
Yeah.
you only want someone to read the text, but you have none of the visuals of a comic
Well,
book.
no, I would need the visuals.
Right. So then I would check YouTube. Someone might do it.
Like an ASMR version.
Yeah.
Superman punches him.
Wow, how did we both went the same direction?
Well, it's funny to me to try and do something whispery when Superman's like
Yeah.
lifting cities.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else? No.
I mean,
A million.
What else don't you like about your wife?
Riverdale?
You don't like Riverdale?
No, I really don't like Riverdale.
I don't love Riverdale.
You kept up. You've watched all the seasons.
Well, because
Those characters, fuck.
Yeah.
I know, and they're like what, like 16?
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Certainly not my high school experience.
They drink a lot and they have a lot of sex.
Yeah, with teachers. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, Miss Grundy, born on a Monday. She was dead the whole time. Oh, no. Never mind.
Never
mind.
No.
Okay, next question.
All right. Well, we're leaving Facebook and heading on
That's
over
me
to,
producing.
That was nice.
to Twitter.
Twitter.
Whoa.
Marriage. We may make it out of this episode.
We'll see.
We'll see. First question. First question comes from Mr. Two First Names himself, James Paulson.
That's it.
Yep, that's all you get. Who asks, how much do the doctor and producer Richard talk about comics outside of the podcast? What comics do they always try to get you to read?
So Richard doesn't try to get me to read any comics.
Smart enough to not do that.
What, you mean it's not smart to try
to get her to read comics?
Yeah, finish that sentence. Finish the sentence. My illiterate wife doesn't.
This dumb bitch over here.
My wife has no time for the written word.
She should be in the kitchen where she belongs. Got no time for reads and words.
Jesus Christ.
You're a fucking monster.
So no.
So Richard doesn't try to make you read things.
No, because I've tried to make him read real books.
I mean, that would be good for him. Yeah.
And unless it's Harry Potter, I don't want none of it. Hunger Games 2 and Twilight. Really like those tweens.
Team
novels.
Are you a 14-year-old girl?
On the inside.
And the outside.
Oh, yeah.
How much does Richard talk about comic? Even if he's not trying to make you read something, how much does he say like, oh, this is something like the doctor made me read, or oh, this is something that's coming out, or we're about to talk about this on the episode? Like, does it come up, or is it sort of partitioned off?
I'd say fairly often.
It's my other life.
No, because he's always got to make that content.
Everything is content. That's why we don't hang out outside of the podcast.
That's why I record all of our conversations.
No, he talks about it quite a lot. And we're always talking about like movies and like what movies are coming out and what's kind of happening in that realm.
I know you guys brainstorm like episode ideas and stuff like that too, so it must come up at some point. But yeah.
Yeah. Like we read through. I mean, Jessica's the one who bought me that 75 Years of DC book,
which is such a cool book.
With zero prompts, just that came in the mail one day, and so
Best
we went.
wife ever.
Yes, absolutely. You don't have to call yourself that. I would have.
You know what? No one else is. I'm a confident woman.
That's where you should be. But yeah, so we read through that and like came up with ideas for the comic, and I talk to her a lot about sort of like what's happening within the podcast and like some of the new issues, and she always asks about what the new episodes are and what it's about and
strategies on how to push me out.
Well,
And sometimes when I don't feel good, I fall asleep to Dr. DC episodes.
Thank you.
No, I'm kidding. Because we do fall asleep to podcasts, and sometimes he'd try to put on Dr. DC, and I'd be like, "No, I don't want to hear your voice as I'm falling asleep."
I will say it's sometimes weird when you're catching up to hear my voice in the other room, and sometimes it really confuses our daughter.
Oh, I bet. Is it that dog head tilt?
I don't want to be like half asleep, and then he like laughs really loud, and then I'm like, "What? What's going on?"
Or the only word you hear is pedophile. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what puts her to sleep.
It's code word.
Yeah, that's right. It's a trigger word.
How much would you say I talk about comics outside of the podcast?
I live in a realm of DC. Basically, the doctor, if you guys aren't recording, he's brainstorming about recording, or he's thinking about recording, or I'll go, who are you texting? And he'll go, Richard, and I know what it's about. Basically,
yeah, that's what it's about.
It is impossible for me not to know what's going on, and I'm not saying that with any sort of like saltiness. I've become.
Do you want another take on that one?
I've become numb to this.
I feel nothing. The doctor tries to get me to
0.25%.
read things. Sometimes it happens naturally. I was playing the Lego Batman 3 game.
Yeah.
And
dope game.
And I fell in love with Larfleeze because he's like, that's mine. I'm like, look at that weird little motherfucker. I love him. And so that night on my bedside table showed up the Larfleeze comic.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was Green Lantern Agent Orange. It was the
Yeah.
lead up to part of the prelude to Blackest Night.
Yeah. So I read the Larfleeze book and it was lovely. Or like he gave me the Mr. Miracle Big Barda series and was
Mr.
like,
Miracle.
look, it's our marriage. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, no, but I mean, like, there's lots of like just fun like things about like the mundane little day to day things about like, oh my god, the kid doesn't stop shitting or like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, this is fun. Like, you'll like this. But it sat there for a very long time before it got read.
She's just not willing to like come to terms with
Well,
your
sometimes she says something, I'd be like, oh my God, that's exciting that you said that. I think
Yeah.
there's something you'd be interested to read. And it's like timely because she just said it. So I'll give her the book and then like a month later she'll read it and we'll have forgotten the conversation that led to it. And she'll be like, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Or like for example, today our daughter, I had to take her to the doctor. And
sorry, I'm confused.
I had to take her to the pediatrician.
Oh, okay.
And as we're sitting,
Yeah.
and as we're sitting there, I'm pulling
That's how
out
you get it.
all the toys from the bag for her to play with. And what do I pull out? I pull out Martian Manhunter, and I pull out 3 little type cars, one of whom is the Joker, Batgirl, and Batman. And then I pull
Attaboy.
out a Wonder Woman teething ring, and the guy across from me, whose kid is wearing a Batman shirt, is like looking at me gobsmacked.
So jealous.
Yeah.
My wife only lets him wear this shirt.
Yeah.
She's out of town. It's the only reason he's in the
Yeah.
shirt.
And we'll be driving in the car and I'll look at him from nowhere and I don't know where it comes into my brain or why the hell it comes in my brain, and I'll go
We need a divorce.
and I'll I keep trying.
No,
I
she
keep
knows
saying
why.
no.
Yeah, that's true.
She knows
And I'll look at him and go, have you done like a first love episode or like
Yeah.
I'll come up with stuff and he's like, why, what, like where did that come from? And I have no friggin' idea, but in my off hours I think of podcast ideas.
Jessica does the same
because
thing.
I just want to be part of it for whatever stupid reason. I just
It's because
You sound very happy about it.
Yeah.
well, because I know where your true love lies. So if I'm going to compete with Richard, I have to, up my game. So
It's a pretty precise piece of equipment you're going to need to get.
I feel attacked.
Jessica does the same thing though. Jessica is all the time like going, "Did you do an episode like this? Have you done an episode on this?"
yeah,
I will say that I do like.
And I go, "Yeah, we did. Why don't you listen to the fucking podcast?"
I was gonna say, I do.
I'm all caught up.
I do often say that you don't have to listen, but I do appreciate how supportive you are and that you do listen. That is something.
Yeah.
Please, she's threatening me now. Please don't hurt me.
But yeah, so it.
I have enough bruises as it is.
I try, but I don't
Why are you always
always
wearing long
succeed.
sleeves? It's summer.
Because it's my body. I don't know. I fell down a lot of stairs.
Walked into a doorknob.
A bag of them.
Oh, Bing.
No, I feel like Richard and I, we're pretty much on the same page on a lot of that stuff. Like we
definitely.
kind of know what each other's like thinking or doing, and I think that's just being extremely codependent, spending so much time with each other.
Do you find that you retain a lot more than you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Didn't
just,
really come in handy in the quiz, did it?
Burn.
but it's true. It really is true. I can't remember what we were talking about. So somebody mentioned Star Sapphire, and I was like, Carol Ferris. And then as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like,
Somebody's getting laid tonight.
We need to wrap this up.
Okay.
You don't want another kid.
Next question.
Next question.
All right. Next question comes from our favorite spacey, sexy texter, Cosmic DM, who asks,
Give him the old cosmic ride.
Yeah, that's right. Is Richard still obsessed with Archie comics?
Who?
What?
I don't know that Richard has ever been obsessed with Archie comics. That's a completely out of the blue thing to
Yeah, I
mention.
don't
No, he
understand.
talked about how much he hates Riverdale.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I would like Archie comics. Anyways, second part of this question. What do you think of the beards?
Well, as a beard myself,
Fuck you. That's good. That's good.
Well played.
I think that the beards have sort of become so much of what they're known for. And
I mean, that's a little hurtful. It's a podcast about something else.
It's our personality, though.
listen, when you walk through the town that I'm not allowed to say where we're from, but when you walk downtown,
They figured it out.
Yeah, people know.
I remember
Small town Yukon.
Have you ever had it where somebody has stopped Richard and been like, "Nice beard, bro"? Because that shit happens a lot. One time, someone went to touch his beard and said, "You know, you could get paid at Christmas time because some men get paid to have their beard stroked for anti-anxiety."
Whoa.
I've been solicited in the street
Whoa.
for beard
No.
touching. yeah.
Seriously. Apparently, it's.
I don't have that good of a beard, apparently.
Stroking a man's beard is meant to lower your anxiety. So during the Christmas holiday season, in some countries, they hire men with beards so that people can just come and run their hands through their beards. We were walking down Main Street one day, and a woman asked if she could run her hands through his beard.
I'm
No.
really disappointed in Richard that he's not doing this as a source of income.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an option.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I've
now-
never been solicited. Apparently,
now
my
you do.
beard isn't quality enough.
Yeah, up your game, bro. I mean, our main sponsor is a grooming company.
Yeah,
So the
true.
beards are definitely like a focal point.
Well,
For
but
sure.
you specifically, I haven't seen you without a beard since we started dating
Well,
over
you got
6
you
years
got,
ago.
You,
Well, no,
you get
I
tight.
didn't have a beard at the time when we started dating.
but that's what I mean, like,
but once that show was done, once I wasn't in Three Musketeers and didn't have the little pencil mustache goatee thing anymore, yeah, I've had a beard basically.
You kept it. You there's a few times that you've cut it real tight.
Yes, yeah.
But no, like I
Toit.
I
Like a
think
tiger.
I think it would be really weird if you didn't have one.
He shaved it a little too tight a few times, and I'm like, nah, grow back.
There's a part of me that wants to just Lex Luthor it and just bick the whole thing sometimes.
Your entire head?
Everything. Beard, head,
eyebrows.
All the pharyngeals.
Just go like shiny.
Chest.
Yeah, chest.
Balls.
Balls. Not dick.
Yeah, that's what the balls are called, the not dick.
Like, do you like the beards? What do you think?
Yeah, I do.
You become a beard-loving lady.
No, I do. My biggest issue is the mustache.
Oh, when they get too long?
Yeah.
And they try to give you a friggin' smooch and you feel like you're smooching a goddamn cactus?
Well,
Richard likes it.
I just get to taste like
Feels great against my
multiple
waist.
past meals.
Right? Thank you.
So that's the only thing is keep the mustache trim and I'm good.
Yeah. Guys are maniacs.
I miss this.
He said Richard likes it. I said I like it against my waist. Because he's sucking my dick.
I get
I
it.
just wasn't
I
sure.
mean, I'm laughing.
You weren't laughing, so I just.
I think it's
you
funny
didn't get
because
it.
that's how you envision this relationship. But
It's too real.
I mean, I'm the one with all the power.
Jesus.
I thought you were
Bareback?
supposed to have us suspend our disbelief.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, we're not having sex.
Next question.
Next question. Oh, okay. The next question comes from. Every time.
Who is it?
Raging G wears a cape and cowl. Raging G only likes paper towels.
My God.
Raging G, he likes metal and leather. Raging G, don't tick him with a feather.
That's one of my favorite bits from this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to do. Let's see what he has.
My favorite one was the one time.
Oh, yeah.
The one time where the hardcore thing you said about it was that he fears death. That's like that's not hardcore at all.
What does the G stand for?
Gareth.
Yeah, Raging Gareth.
Gabriel? Garth?
Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard. Like Gerard Butler.
Gerard?
Why is he in so many
His name is
shit
Gerard.
films?
He's Scottish.
Everyone says Gerard.
Yeah, but they're wrong. His name is Gerard. Gerard Butler.
He's in all sorts of shit films.
Yeah.
Yeah,
paying
except
off
for 300.
Did you know that? Did you see the trailer? There's another one of those Has Fallen movies coming out.
What do you mean?
You know, like there's like
Oh, God.
Olympus
like
has
the
fallen,
Olympus
and then
Fallen.
London has fallen. There's a third one. It's called Angel Has Fallen. It's coming out. It's a trilogy.
What's the eight? Are they suddenly just now jumping the shark and going to like heaven and hell?
No, I think he is like the angel because he's like the guardian angel because he's the president's bodyguard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It looks like he's being set up. Yeah. I think Nick Nolte plays his dad or some shit. But at any rate,
Angel.
nice. What does Raging G ask?
Raging G asks, because I will be moving in soon with my girlfriend and taking my collection with me, I'm assuming comics, not his sex toy collection. How did you feel for the boxes / libraries full of comics that came alongside your partner when you first lived together? Should I be prepared for fights and boxes in the attic, or will all be well?
Well, Richard moved in with like a suitcase worth of personal items, so I'll pass this over.
He's ready to leave in the middle of the night.
I had very few possessions.
He's got a go bag with a bunch of different countries' passports and different currency.
Is that not normal?
When we first got together, you really didn't have a whole bunch of comics.
No, it was around when we started dating that I got like into collecting comics.
Back into it.
And I was a terrible, terrible enabler. Every time I went to an antique market, I brought you back tons.
Yeah.
The big one was when we moved to our current home. We moved cross country, and we shipped all the they're short boxes. And there was so much. And at first, when we moved here, they were all in the basement because you got like 16 boxes.
Well, when they were long boxes, I had like 6.
Yeah.
I've got 14 short boxes. They're not all like chock-a-block full, but pretty close. And I really should have 15 boxes because I have some assorted non-DC things that need a home. So I've got, it's not like an outrageous collection. I mean, anyone that's listening to this, most people probably have a bigger collection than I do, frankly. But
Though coming into your house, it's the first thing you see, and it's a lot.
Well, it is now because when we first moved, here, all of his boxes were in the basement where they were
out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind. And then we moved into a much smaller home.
Yeah.
And the only place to put them that wasn't our bedroom, because I said fuck no to that I didn't want them in the bedroom.
How else am I supposed to get hard?
Jesus Christ.
So they're
Looking at you, Bruce.
So they're in the middle of the living room.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, if you're smart about it, all will be well. But if you're like, no, they need to be next to the bed, then like get ready for a fight.
I think the key thing is just understanding that a collection of anything, comics or movies or records, whatever it is, takes up space. And if your partner doesn't 100% share like your love of something, then it's about like
compromise.
Well, and it's not compromise in like you get rid of that or I don't move in with you, but it's just like is it A, an eyesore, or B, like, is it, maybe you have to compromise a bit on like accessibility or prominence, so that it's somewhere where it can live and we can all be happy that it's there, but it's not maybe necessarily like you come in and there's like the display, the way you had it in your own apartment.
Yeah,
right? You sort of have to.
We have a pretty clear rule where it like, because one, I have the studio, which is sort of my geek room, and that's where I can have the very sort of like blatant like geek stuff.
Yeah.
And anywhere in the house, in the house, we have a rule that's basically like, one, it can't be super blatant, like you can't look at it and it's like just Superman. It has to be something that's geek referral but cool looking, and that only if you were a fan of that thing that you would know. And that it's more art focused than it is geek focused. I think that's really the
like some of our artwork references it, and then like our Christmas tree, like the angels, the Doctor Who weeping angel.
Ours, I mean, we've toned it down a lot in our new place, but I think ours it's also about that there's something in there for every. It's not just like, where can I hide my shit? It's like we've got stuff in there that's like old movie reference, kind of images up there, but we also have like the like production sketch of the USS Discovery. And we've got like the Jay Gonzo.
God, you really got lucky that fucking Star Trek Discovery was a good show.
yeah, right.
Thank God.
But you know what I mean? But then we also have in the same display like artwork made by like artist friends of ours. Just like generic artwork.
Yeah, you hide it well. You blend it together.
We've got stuff we both lived in Montreal. We've got like a nice big poster of sort of Montreal icons that, we both agree on. So it's like, it's not just like, where can I hide the shit I like? It's that both of us have things and we find a way to incorporate them all into like a piece, basically, right?
Yeah.
Raging G, best of luck with the move, but just be ready that like not all of your stuff, not that it won't make it, you'll still own it, but like it won't all make it to a place of prominence, and that's okay.
I also think that like if you can find something that both of you really like an artist or like a thing, then focus on that. like we found an artist that we really like, and so we buy a lot of the artwork from that one artist.
Sure,
Or if there's like a certain geek thing that you both like, I mean, like we have a lot of Doctor Who stuff on our tree, like things like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally.
absolutely,
All will be well.
All will be well, I think. Yeah.
always. Next question comes from Dave Rossi. Dave,
Dashel, give your dad a hug.
yes,
Tell him I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry.
Dash, you shouldn't be listening anyways. What do you
Yeah,
think?
turn off the podcast.
Dave asks, on our first date, I asked my wife who would win in a fight, Thor or Superman.
Superman.
Well, which person in each couple
Fucking right.
teased their geeky/nerdy proclivities first? How did they bring it up, and how was it received? Also, her answer was Superman. Hashtag correct.
Very correct.
So I think what he's asking, who was the first to show their geek cards?
I mean, I can't imagine I'm subtle.
There's nothing subtle about either of us.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's true. You both are very forward.
Yeah.
We doing this or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took 3 episodes, and I finally submitted.
Have you stretched?
So far, it's
Let's do
only
it.
my keys in the bowl.
Every time you come over, I don't get it.
We were friends before we were dating.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, for a long while. So
It's almost a miracle that we were dating at all. You knew me too well, one could say.
yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, you wore me down. But yeah, no, there was definitely no teasing or showing
I think
our
I
cards.
knew you liked musicals.
Yeah.
It just generally, because we were in theater school together and you just knew that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there was like a watershed moment where it was like, oh, fuck, she knows musicals or anything like that. I feel like it was just sort of like gradual over time.
Yeah.
That I sort of learned stuff you were into, like Disney or like
Yeah.
old movie musicals or things like that. I don't know that there was like, maybe it's different for you, but I don't think there was like a moment for me where I was like, oh shit, like we're really in the deep end now.
Well, actually, every now and then, I think we show each other cards. Like, for example, you asked me one time to name like all the years that all the Disney princess movies came out in order, and I could do it.
Yeah,
Or
that's
like,
true, yeah.
or like sometimes when you can just pick an issue of a comic out of your head and just be like, oh yeah, Action Comics 840 or whatever the hell.
Sure, yeah.
I think that like sort of reminds us, like, oh yeah,
That's
like
what got her there.
well, like it's those moments of like, yeah, you know what, he actually does.
Right.
Or when you tell me about like the the bloodlines of fucking Numenor or whatever, like those are the moments where I sit there and go,
it was the corrupted king Ar-Pharazôn who declared war
all right.
on
but yeah, that's
the Valar.
What podcast do you think this is?
we probably have more reminiscings than like having that moment of like exposing
Yeah.
our nerdiness to each other.
That's true. I think it's just us
Yeah.
sort of, yeah,
How about
bringing
you
it out
guys?
in each other. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what about you guys?
I don't know, but we were. I was thinking about this earlier. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, shut up, Richard.
Yeah, you answer the question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is gaslighting.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't tell you to stop.
My superpower.
Yeah, it's the reason why I stay.
That is pitch black, buddy.
That's what I'm here for. I was thinking about this earlier on today, and I think that we both sort of like. I spent a lot more time at her apartment, so there was probably a better chance that I saw her sort of geek side pretty quickly.
Right.
On the other hand, like I also have 2 very nerdy tattoos on my feet, so
That's true.
You see those pretty quick.
Which are, for those of us that aren't directly looking at your feet.
I mean, why are you guys all looking at my feet?
Yeah. Show me your feet.
Give me the sexy little tootsies. One foot has the Triforce from The Legend of Zelda, and the other one is the Deathly Hallows from Harry Potter. So I don't know, but I probably I probably at least saw some of her sort of nerdy side, because when you come over, she definitely wants to like show people like her like movie collection, music collection, that kind of stuff. So
I do?
Yeah. You did, at least with me.
In my apartment?
Yeah.
No memory. No, I do.
Those were the
good old days. Early years.
I do remember, though, asking Richard Van Halen or Van Hagar.
Oh, see, and that seems to be like where you live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I made Richard.
Did he answer correctly?
I think he answered wrong, and I made him leave.
I think I did it also on purpose.
And for those of us that might not be into that genre of music, what is the correct answer?
Van Halen.
Van Halen.
I think
Well, he answered wrong as a joke, and then I kicked him out as a joke. But I think we were both like half joking,
right,
and
But
just
then I
being like
actually left.
aggressive.
right,
Then I actually left the house.
right.
And then she didn't come get me, and then that was a fight.
That's how we play our cards.
The early years.
Yeah, we both like. I've learned to just submit because she doesn't. Like she does not break ever.
I just roll over and show my belly.
Yeah, well, because she just like she commits 100% every time. So if it like she will not like give me an inch.
Yeah, well, that's probably wise.
Well, maybe I need to start doing that.
I barely have an inch to give. So
I like waking you up in the morning and being like, "Did you know that they're bringing Swamp Thing to DC Universe?"
she's like, "Get that away from my face."
Swamp Thing. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. So I think that answers the question.
I think so too.
All right, next.
I think that answers. That's a lot of TMI.
Well, that's what this episode's all about.
That's right. You're all implicated now.
That's right. Next question comes from Talking Superman, who asks, "Are there legitimately good Disney comics? Also, what's good food at Disney World?"
Do you know what's funny? For all of the Disney love, we maybe have like one or two old magazine style Disney comics that you actually found.
Don Quixote. Back in the
Really?
day, they did Disney crossovers of the Three Musketeers and 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea and all. And the one that I found that I bought for you that we have is Don Quixote.
That's right. Yeah.
Read it. It's magical.
Really?
But I think for the most part, like your Disney love isn't like you don't go seek out like I wish there were Disney comics. Is it like the same sort of thing where you like is it that you don't reading a comic is not your preferred medium for
it's
those
not.
things?
It's not. But if I come across it, I pick it up. Like for example, there's like the Disney Princess comics that come out on like New Comic Book Day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That we grab, quote unquote, for our daughter.
Yeah, on Free Comic Book Day once a year. Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms,
there is a pretty cool Darkwing Duck comic. Yeah. Someone on Twitter brought it up too, but I remember it. There's a Darkwing Duck comic that's pretty decent, but I think even at that, you would prefer to just watch the show.
Yes, much would much prefer.
I heard the DuckTales comic was pretty good too.
Yeah. I guess it is DuckTales with Scrooge McDuck and the
Huey, Louie, and Dewey.
Is that
Yeah, Dewey, Huey, and Louie.
That's what I said.
Huey, Lewis, and the News.
But in terms of the question about what to eat at Disneyland, there are many people in my lives, like in our lives, in our lives. Sorry.
What?
Sorry, I've been drinking.
This is a bombshell.
There are many people in our lives that love Disney so much that they go to Disneyland or Disney World like 3 and 4 times a year.
There are some people we know that do that. Yeah.
I haven't been to Disney World since I was 15.
Yeah,
me too.
I was 10.
I was like 14, I think.
And
13.
and
It's a big trip from Canada. It's not like
and I'm one of those people that I don't equate like you guys have never been to Comic-Con.
Yes, that's true.
But I would never challenge you on your love for DC Comics.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like it's sort of the same. I love Disney and I have a stupid amount of Disney knowledge, but that shouldn't be ranked by how many times I go to Disney World.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So unfortunately,
do you have any sort of like my memory from when I was 10 was the character breakfast. I don't even remember if the food was good, but I remember like Mickey was there.
I remember going to Epcot.
Yeah.
And growing up in suburban white Ontario.
Amen.
Right at home at Epcot.
Well,
Preach.
no. Like my parents were never ones that were like, let's try the ethnic food.
I wish.
You know what I mean? Like,
where's the steak and potatoes stand?
Yeah, like that was sort of my family's bread.
Where's the Leamington tomatoes?
So I remember being overwhelmed at like Epcot because there was all this different array of food that I'd never seen before.
Oh, that's right, like the countries of the world.
I was like from The Simpsons where they have like that on the dock or whatever. They have all the places, but they all come from like the same food. It's just the same stuff.
Yeah. So I would say if that still exists because it has been 15 years since I've been there.
The squid port.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go check out Epcot if you want a colorful.
You're like one of the only people that's like go to Disney, go to Epcot.
I liked Epcot.
I don't know.
It was one of the most memorable ones. I think in Epcot we went on the like Viking like water ride.
Oh shit, yeah.
That shit was dope.
Yeah, I like apricots.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh baby. Yeah, apricots. That's what we were talking about.
Well, no, I've never been to Disney. I would love to go.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
But I've heard that at like the main whatever, like the fancy schmancy like restaurant,
Right. Yeah.
they'll make you like whatever you want despite your food allergies.
Is that like the real high end one?
Yeah.
That's there?
Yeah.
Or Club 30.
Yeah.
I'm real into it.
Behind the castle or whatever.
Yeah, I'm super into that. Because I'll be like, here's all my
And you can-
dietary restrictions. Go.
And you can make the characters make it.
That's right. Sweating like.
Yeah.
Where's Geppetto?
I want Iago to make my omelet.
Yeah. So yeah, that. I'm sorry that we can't recommend anything wonderful.
He made a
but-
little boy and his name is Geppetto. I never put that two and two together.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Get out.
I'm just saying. The clues were there the whole time.
You could have saved them. You had all the clues.
But you know what? We might end up going to Euro Disney.
Yes.
So maybe I'll do some tracking.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think we might go Disneyland sometime soon.
Yeah.
I think that's-
We are
cards.
definitely considering a detour to Euro Disney.
Because Disneyland's the closest. I mean, that's the easiest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
With that, the Dr. DC podcast will be back after this quick break.
So I've got one. I kind of went back into our back catalog of things we've talked about. on the
Okay,
show to
all right,
find this
okay.
one. So this character is called Roy G. Buff. Roy G. Buff is an anthropomorphic cow with 7 udders, each of which creates a different color of milk that can give someone a different power.
Oh my god. So how does it, like, just by touch, or do they have to drink?
They have to drink it. So Roy G. Buff can squeeze like red milk into a glass for you, and then you get strength for an hour.
Wow.
Or you know, squeeze some blue out, and you can get flight for an hour.
Oh my god.
That's Roy G. Buff.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So it's an anthropomorphic cow?
Yeah.
It's like
And he's French.
Obviously.
All right.
So
I have a quick question before you start.
Okay.
Are they Cajun?
Oh, no, they're not.
Oh, great. Okay,
No,
keep going. I was going to stop you right there.
They're from the bayou. No.
A goddamn swamp thing.
Yeah. They have the ability to, in any possible scenario, to produce the appropriate bicycle for whatever that situation is.
Sorry. Okay.
So whether they're like mountains, they need
street, mountain.
Yeah.
End of list.
Yeah. Their name is Pedal File.
Oh no. Oh no. God damn it. God damn it.
Get it? Because his bike is Pedal File.
I hate you so much.
What? I don't understand. What's the problem?
Right, so they can create the bike they need most.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What? I don't get it.
Pedal file. Really?
What? I don't.
I'm so upset.
What's the issue? I don't understand. It's a bike. He's really into bikes. He's really.
He's too into bikes, I would argue.
I don't understand what the problem is.
He's only into bikes with training wheels.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He likes those really big wheel bikes too.
I have one. I'm not proud of it, but I have one.
I'm sorry. I've been proud of the previous ones.
So proud. This one's called Dildo Baggins. It's a short, hairy-footed guy with a bag full of dildos, and like some of them are exploding ones, and some of them are like electric ones. Like instead of batarangs, or whatever. He's got just a big bag full of specific use dildos that he can throw at people. But he's and he looks like a hobbit. That's Dildo Baggins.
Okay.
I have one that I feel pretty good about.
Tell me.
So his name is the Albatross. He's a humanoid albatross with the power of divine judgment.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's the Albatross.
Holy shit. Okay.
The power of divine judgment.
Yeah, like an arbiter and an albatross.
So
he's the Albatross.
He has to be mostly bird to do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's the only way.
A man seriously or a woman seriously doing that, but a bird? Oh.
Yeah.
This bird knows what he's talking about.
The only law I respect is the law laid down by birds.
So,
I do have one.
Okay, let's hear what yours is.
So mine is called Crime Apple.
Crime Apple?
So,
okay.
So Crime Apple, he doesn't have a danger sense like Spider-Man.
Okay.
He has a sense when someone is literally breaking a law of the land. Like,
okay.
So wherever he is, he just has like an intuitive knowledge of the laws. And if someone is breaking a law near him, then he develops this like hard shell and is covered in like spikes, and then he can go stop the crime. So he's like a pineapple that stops crime.
Oh my God.
So that's Crime Apple.
Wait, did you see the ceramic pineapple I had in the house?
Maybe.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a character called
This bodes well.
Tarantula Boy.
No. It's not ripping off Marvel or DC.
Okay.
His name is
Oh, I can't wait.
This better
to
be
hear
fucking
his
good.
lines. Yeah, no kidding.
His name is Juan Cholo.
Oh, is this a Han Solo ripoff? Oh my God.
He's a space gangster who travels space with his buddy Chimichaka.
Oh my God.
Wow.
In the Millennium El Camino.
Hey, let's not disparage El Camino. It's the greatest car ever to be created.
It's Millenniumino, actually, but
The Millenniumino, there we go.
yeah. And his ability is that he can fly almost any spaceship incredibly well.
What's a common like the
Juan Cholo and Chimichaka. Like, fuck you. Jesus. Oh God.
Oh,
that is in the spirit of ripping up.
I also would love to see that dude drawn by somebody.
trying to I want to keep in the spirit of ripping off too.
Sure.
By the way, I saw him posted on Facebook the other day that they were, and this was an honest question. They were like, "Am I the only one who thought that the American national anthem was Jose? Can you see?"
Okay, so last time you ripped off a DC character because that was Marvel Seals from DC.
Yeah.
So you got to rip off a Marvel character this time. Let's gift something to the DC execs that always listen to our show.
Well, I had two ideas.
Okay.
The first one, I was going to go like generic Spider-Man ripoff because Spider-Man's my favorite comic book character. But then I was like, what about like Admiral Nationalism?
Oh no.
Admiral Nationalism.
That has like he's got a red hat and a polo shirt.
Oh.
And he wields his mighty tiki torch.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And he's the defender of the alt-right.
I mean, I'm saying oh no, but this is like a good idea as a character because
he's a hero.
No, that's not not what I meant.
He is very much a villain.
Yeah, of course.
And he only fights crusades based on what he sees on InfoWars.
Right. Like InfoWars is like his back computer.
He gets very limited information, but that doesn't stop him from getting very, very into what he's
But he takes it
fighting.
as 100% accurate and complete.
Yeah, his name
The
is,
most accurate.
Yeah.
His name is
So accurate.
So accurate.
Nothing's ever been more accurate. It's 105% accurate. It's better than perfect.
That's a pretty good Trump.
We've done it
many times. Yeah.
I think his name would be
Great Lakes
Chad.
grooming. It's the greatest lakes.
Oh no.
They're so groomed.
Oh no. They're not going to like when I do that.
Yeah. I think his name would be Chad.
Sure, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
My name is Chad.
Yeah,
I'm
just
very
Chad.
excellent.
Just Chad. He has no last name.
Right.
I'm like Prince. One word.
But white.
Chad. But white. Definitely got to be white.
Okay. Admiral Nationalism.
Admiral Nationalism.
Oof.
It's a wall.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
his superpower is that he can build a single wall in a relatively long amount of time.
Yeah.
I've got a character whose name is Frequencer.
Okay, Frequencer.
Yeah, who's like a British sort of like fancy chap who's got like a monocle and things like that, but is also from an alien planet where they only speak through replicated sound. So by like making knocks on things and by like and from doing that they have the ability to actually manipulate sound now.
Right.
So they can't make sound themselves, but they can make it by like hitting things.
Like they don't have like a vocal cord.
No,
or something,
but they can manipulate other sound. So they can actually so much so that they can actually manipulate the like frequencies and the like low and mid, so they can take sounds and expand them or like make them lower.
That's a very dangerous power because the fabric of the multiverse is based in vibrations.
Exactly. So they really have the ability to.
Interesting. That is somehow the best character you've ever come up with. That's really good. Yeah.
It's not the first sound one I've ever done for sure, but it's probably like the third or fourth.
You've refined the idea.
Yes.
Over time.
Yes, I think I've got it now.
You go first.
Okay. My character's name.
Please don't make me edit this out.
Is Incel Duck.
No. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hate you so much.
He's a villain who
God damn it.
He's a villain who chooses not to commit crimes because he thinks that the heroes make it too difficult.
I mean, I'm shaking with rage. Jesus Christ. Incel Duck. Fuck you. Have we officially exercised it now? Was this like the Morrison thing? Is it done? Are we done with it?
Also, he likes to like invite other villains in to commit the crimes that he was hoping to commit. And then he likes to watch them do it.
Jesus. Okay, so mine is called Morse Toad.
Okay.
So Morse Toad.
Morse Toad in the Time.
Morse Toad is a human, but has this sort of like kind of slimy, kind of bumpy skin.
Okay,
like looks very toad-like, and has the ability to sort of like inflate his like diaphragm to make these deep like ribbit sounds. But what they can do is he can use them kind of like black canaries canary cry, or he can also use them to communicate in any language.
Whoa.
And understand in any language.
Ooh.
So Morse Toad can ribbit, and it's understood by everyone, and it also allows him to understand.
So hero or villain?
I think hero. I think that's a benign enough power that it's not helpful to be a villain. You know what I mean? Like that's yeah. I think that's a hero power. In general, I think I try to come up with heroes.
Yeah,
for the most part. Although I did say that Roy G. Buff would be a good agent of the enemy.
Yeah,
because he could sell the milk.
How accurate is that you always go for heroes and not like the villains?
Yeah, it's telling. Yeah. So that's Morse Toad.
I dial H, and my character's name is the Charmer.
Ooh,
the Charmer's power is the power of charm, and it basically turns you into Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack. And so for one day, I run around saying fun one-liners in a Hawaiian shirt, and people have a great time. And then whenever I say, hey, everybody gets laid, all of a sudden, Journey's Any Way You Want It starts playing, blues starts flowing, and we all have a party.
That just sounds like you.
No, this is the Charmer.
No, I get the name difference.
Richard,
well, then you understand that it's not, because its name is not Kyle Clark, podcasting comedian, writer man. It's the Charmer.
Oh, I apologize. No. How could I be
simply,
so?
I'm mild-mannered television writer and comedian Kyle Clark. The Charmer is a hero of the people.
They could never be the same person.
I would never believe people who say that the Charmer is a menace, because I think of all the good he does. Now I have photos of the Charmer that I'm going to go sell to a High Society magazine.
Fuck you. Oh my god. I come up with a new character though called Permanancer.
Sorry, Permanencer?
Yeah, Permanent.
I like the name.
Good name, yeah. And so what this character actually does is he's a villain to the flesh, and anything that he does becomes permanently implanted in the time. So you can't go back in time to fix it. You can't go forward. Everything that he does is permanently placed in history.
Because that's the thing with the timeline is some things are concrete and some things are fluid. So this guy, everything he does is concrete.
Yes. So
interesting. So you can't go back and fix it later. You have to stop him before he does it.
And so anything that you try to do, even the things that, if anything slightly touches the things that he does, that means that those things can't be changed if they affect what he's done at all.
Oh, interesting. That's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty good one. Sorry, what's his name again?
The Permanencer.
The Permanencer. That's a good name. That's a good one, actually. I'm sort of impressed. What did you look at that made you think of that?
I looked at my markers for the whiteboards.
Wait, you use permanent markers on your whiteboard?
No, I don't. But I looked at those markers and I was like, those are whiteboard markers. Thank God they're not permanent markers.
Oh, I see.
Permanencer.
Understand.
I'm pretty smart, you know?
I'm impressed with that one, actually.
Hey guys, just Stump Chunkman here. I have a dial H for you guys. And the thing is that after he dials it, he turns into a poisonous bowl of soup to kill his enemies and whatnot. And his name is Me So Soup.
Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, I mean, that's an incredible character.
Yeah.
Second of all, Stump, your voice is so deep.
I did not expect that. I'll be honest. I've seen photos of Stump. Did not expect that voice.
No, like you could be the anchor of a barbershop quartet. Like, hello.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Miso soup is fucking. It's again.
Miso soup.
Is it racist if it's funny? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
Wow. Yeah, amazing.
Oh my God, that's
great
amazing.
dial dog. Thank you, Stump.
Oh, that's so
and
good.
thank you for calling. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got our first caller. That's awesome.
That's dope.
This next one, for all you Home Alone fans who were worried about their heating bills, this
Ooh.
is
Say it.
cauliflower caulking. so he can turn cauliflower into caulking and seal drafty windows.
So much.
I'll say right now, mine does not top that. that Macaulay Flower caulking definitely.
What I love is that I think
it can only bottom it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I think your intention for this was to make like serious superheroes.
It's dial H.
And we're back.
Hey.
That was a sponsor that we had.
You just left me in the lurch there. I said hey.
Hey.
You didn't say ho.
Hey.
Neither of us said hip hop hooray.
Oh. Hey.
Ha-ha.
No.
I'm the genie.
Nope. No.
Rub the lamp.
No. It's bad.
Big Will, itty living space. Big Will, itty living space.
Is that a part of the song?
I hope so.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it yet. I refuse.
No, it's bad.
But you want to know what? Someone has been playing Maggie the music from it,
and she really likes it. So we listen to it all the time.
Why did you play it for her?
Well, because I just wanted to hear it in general. I was just curious.
And
I
she was like,
and she started dancing. We were like, oh, okay, she really likes it. And now it's kind of growing on me. Like I don't hate it anymore.
You've come back around, but you'll go back away again.
I might. Yeah, it might just be a continuous cycle.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to the next question.
All right,
which comes from
Raspberries Reviews, the kind you find on a secondhand podcast.
Who asks, how often do they do impressions when they aren't doing the podcast?
Constantly.
What are Richard's
it never
go-tos?
ends.
I don't know.
What are his go-to impressions?
Anything with a Cajun voice.
Cajun Wolverine.
Oh, you like that logo for the Bayou?
Oh, that the crocodile.
There was a point, like years ago, where he was banned from using the Cajun voice.
It was
like just by you, or like by some sort of outside organization?
Legally.
Well, whenever he talks like Michael Caine, I just walk away now.
Oh yeah, she hates that one.
You don't like the Michael Caine.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
She didn't even make it through the Alfred Begins thing. She was like, no.
That's my most favorite episode.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, that's where you and I differ big time. The best is when he'll do it and then he'll look at me like to see if I've changed my reaction, and my reaction is always still the
You
same.
like it now?
Yeah.
What about now?
Oh no.
Perhaps if I do it again, I might just wear you down a little bit until the point where you feel like this impression is the thing you love the most about me.
Then
Pretty soon it will be.
Then once you've accepted that, I've got a suit that I've spent a lot of time on, and I think you might fit into quite well.
Keep it together, Alfred.
Oh God. We should go visit your parents.
Oh no.
But yeah, it like that's impressions wise, that's it. But there's definitely a lot of
I don't know that I do a ton of impressions at home.
you don't do a lot of impressions, but you do a lot of like lines that you and Richard talk about because you think I'm Richard, and you're like say something and you'll
One
look
day,
at
man.
me,
One day.
and like you'll look at me and I'm like it's the wrong audience. Yeah.
I love that you just keep, like, even when we stop recording, you're still doing the Cajun voice.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys to do that, you know.
Little
Actually,
crawdad.
For those of you at home, there's a wonderful Cajun character in Princess and the Frog. It's a lightning bug named Raymond, but you can call me Ray.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, his name is Raymond.
And as we were watching, and he came on and he's like, oh, you and your boyfriend got all tied up and you're chucklehead. And he looked at me with like this, like.
That was
like,
the most offensive Asian voice I've ever heard in my life.
But like, as this little lightning bug is talking, he's like, oh, I'm a Cajun, bro.
Killed Jessica again.
And the doctor turns to me with like the, yes, this is amazing.
I don't mean to be hypercritical, but it's Cajun, not Asian.
Listen, if you ever do things properly, then you can talk.
Oh, who's a bitch now?
Thank you, Richard.
Jerry.
I can't.
Do you remember? This makes me think of this. Do you remember those commercials? It was like a gum commercial or something, and it was like, I got 2 jobs. Like it was a 2 flavored gum. It was Trident or something, and he's like, I got 2 jobs, but it's a Jamaican guy doing it.
Yes.
And it was like, I got 2 jobs, or like whatever. I can't do the voice.
Yeah.
My dad, who is even worse with voices, basically he went to do it. He sounded Japanese. He just went, I have 2 jobs. It was like, gee, have you ever heard a Jamaican speak? He was just like, I have a 2 job.
That's one thing
That's what every impression he's ever done is like a world away.
we're all, like I'm bad at impressions. Your sister is not great
At impressions,
Like,
impressions don't run particularly strongly in my family. Have you tried the roti? Honestly, it was like that. It was like it couldn't be more different.
Yeah, we are all guilty of being terrible.
I think I'm not necessarily. No, I'm in the nookray. I think the only time I do.
We subscribe to the policy of wrong and strong. Like we're not good, but we go for it.
Producer Jessica has left this chair and is on the couch.
Hashtag marriage.
Did you just hit yourself in the face with the mic?
Right in my tooth.
And then drop the mic? Are you okay?
Your teeth are fine, so that's good.
Wow.
It's good.
You okay, baby?
Wow. I was going to say, I think the only time I really do impressions is just like when it's a reference. You know, like when you're just talking and then you... Are you gonna make it?
He's crying. This is just too much.
I mean, Japanese "No Woman No Cry" is legitimately funny. Buffalo soldier, dirty like Rosta.
You guys are going to hell.
I've been going to hell for
mine by
years.
accident.
2 years I've been going to that.
Mine was just a story, Richard. Come on.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Also, I don't do a lot of impressions, but I sing constantly.
That I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question comes from William Innes. Innes, I barely know her.
Innes, I barely outis.
Yeah. Who asks? Oh, I love this question. Jessica, you got to come back for this one.
I love how she's like, if I must, I must.
I mean, you could be reading the question while this is.
I know, but it's funnier to have the dramatic pause away. Finish this description with comic book characters for your respective husbands.
Uh-oh.
Blank in the streets, but blank in the sheets.
Remember that I have feelings and they can be hurt.
Aww.
Exactly.
So no Flash in
remember
the
that.
sheets?
Remember that.
Oh, I don't want to be Flash in the sheets.
Gordon in the sheets?
Flash Gordon?
No.
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon.
He'll save every one of us.
No, Commissioner Gordon, because you bring in another man to do the job. To be fair, he's all in all black, so I get it.
Yeah. You each have to do blank in the streets, blank in the sheets for us, but using comic book characters. Fuck you.
Fucking incel cook.
Oh my god. This is difficult.
This is hard.
This is difficult.
Both things that are said in the sheets.
Yeah.
Adam in the street. Adam in the sheets.
Oh, no.
You're just a small, insignificant man.
Did she say Adam or atom?
Adam.
Yeah,
and at them.
Hey, I don't know about you. Some of us are growers.
Grower, not shower.
I mean, his power is famously shrinking.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he got to come back to normals. What size is really his normal size? Who's to say?
It's average. That was your comeback to that.
Yeah.
Okay, serious answer.
Okay.
Half for the first part. Shazam in the streets.
Sorry, so Adam in the streets, Shazam in the sheets?
No. Shazam in the streets.
Like,
Okay,
like Billy Batson, like the 12-year-old kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Richard he bounces around on varying maturity levels, if you haven't noticed.
I definitely have noticed.
So, yeah.
A lot of it's on tape.
Your Honor.
Exhibit B.
Mine for in the streets would be CW Flash's Cisco.
So specific.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take Cisco in the streets.
Vibe in the streets. Like, you're very intelligent.
Except you're not vibing in the streets.
No, just Cisco.
Yeah.
Like you're very intelligent,
Thank you.
but you don't always.
I make a dampener for anything.
Handsy.
Everything gets
Yeah.
dampened when I'm around. Am I right?
And but it's very much like something will happen, and then the doctor will look at me and be like, was that weird? Did I say the wrong thing? And I'll go, yes.
He's
Yes.
Aquaman in the sheets, though. He just gets himself wet.
My man. This is me talking to my penis.
I need to think about this. Do you have a in the sheets yet?
No.
The fact that neither of us are obviously Superman.
Yeah,
is a
no.
problem.
Yeah, that's a real issue.
I want to be more original.
The fact that neither of us are
She's
obviously.
like, I want to be more honest.
Mr. Miracle in the sheets.
I didn't think he could do it, but he can escape anything. Mr. Miracle in the sheets?
Yeah, well, if I'm Big Berta, you'd have to be Mr. Miracle, right?
Oh.
Hey.
You've got a thing to live up to now.
Oh, no.
I like that.
No peer pressure. I don't succumb to peer
That's
pressure.
true. She does not. If anything, tell her the thing you don't want.
So, Shazam in the streets.
Yeah, because he can't be Shazam in the sheets because that's...
we don't want to put a
That's
child in the
so
bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I never said he had to be.
Yeah.
You brought it up.
Wonder Woman in the sheets.
Okay, I'm curious. Go on.
Because I know how to please a woman. The only way that a woman would know how. Right? You can't fault that.
It's a weird compliment. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have given him too much credit.
That's right.
Interesting. Wonder Woman in the sheets. Because he's giving and compassionate.
The most.
Right.
I was going to say...
5 capes.
That's my girl. I was going to say I thought it would be like Batman because I come out of nowhere.
Wow.
Constantly talking about your parents.
And he talks like this to make small talk.
Martha!
How is it for you?
I'm coming.
Why did you say my name?
Say my name. Shit.
Jesus. Very nice. I'm very sorry. What was I?
Better than Superman. Do you bleed?
Oh no.
You were Cisco Ramon.
I was
in the street.
Cisco in the streets, Mr. Miracle in the sheets. I'm all
Nice,
for that. I
nice.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
There you go. Jesus, what a question.
Yeah.
At least they didn't ask like Mary Fuck Kill.
I think Richard would be.
Let's do it.
No,
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think Richard is Harry Wells in the streets, but he's HR in the sheets.
Sorry, I'm smart on the streets,
Yeah.
but I'm fucking goofy in the bed.
Yeah.
He's Lex Luthor in the streets.
Okay. That's good. Instead of Shazam.
No, he's Shazam.
Is he Lex Luthor in the sheets? Is that what you really wanted to say?
Yeah.
Call me president.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
At least you're not static in the sheets. Ouch.
Oh.
This is static.
Yeah, those
materials. Yeah.
Very, very well done.
All right.
It's so much better when you explain it.
Yeah, that's how you know it's funny.
We've been doing this for 2 years. We really know comedy.
Yeah, that's right. If anything, let's leave Twitter and head on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them. Yeah.
So you know it's jazz because you got the jazz fingers.
These are cold.
That's right. Oh yeah. First question comes from the real Josh Gill.
Gill.
Sexy Gill.
Gill. Not my hot plate. I only had 2 payments left.
Oh God, I really need this Gill.
Oh God, I need this Gill.
Please God, I need this Gill.
How many Gill? How many Gill?
Stay off the west side.
What does he ask?
How does Jess feel about Richard's feelings towards me?
Oh, yeah. Speak of the devil.
Well, you know, Josh, you can come in. The water's fine.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah. Ow, ow. That's my girl.
That's me being creepy. I don't know
Wow.
if you could tell.
I couldn't. It sounded like your honest voice.
No. Richard, flaunts himself over lots of men. And
Whoa, no. It's just for you, Gil. It's just for you. Don't listen to her.
Josh
She's
is
blown
just
up your spot.
I
bro.
know.
one of many
Yeah. No,
thirst
no.
traps that you have fallen into.
You hear that, Josh? Apparently you're not special.
Look, Kyle, you and me have a special thing. Just don't listen to her. Josh, you're one in a million. It's just you and me, baby. Kyle, seriously, it's you and me till the end.
Wow.
I just love you, Reed. Next question.
Love you too, Richard.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you. Yeah, I love you too. Next question for both. Who are your comic crushes? Ooh.
Does this have to be DC?
I mean, I would prefer it.
Let's do a DC and then whatever else you want.
Sure, yeah. At least one DC one, just to humor me. So that all of this wasn't for nothing.
Mike Pence. No.
Oh, no. Not that DC.
Dane Cook.
What?
DC.
Yeah.
Damn
fuck, Jesus. Okay, one DC
Well,
comics.
no, it
one.
just says comic crushes.
I know, but let's.
And I was joking.
Dr. DC.
Because we
Because he's
watched-
a comedian and.
Yeah, and we watched that really bad movie that he was in.
Oh God, that
I
fucking.
don't-
Good luck, Chuck.
Yes.
Employee
I
of the
mean, I
month.
don't know which movie.
That movie does.
It was so bad.
Not hold
and not
up.
bad in a
course it
good way.
doesn't hold
Employee of the month.
Oh God.
Featuring Dak
No, but
Shepard
like-
and Jessica Simpson.
It's not okay.
Yeah, no, I know. I've seen it. I know what you're reading
Jesus. They like in the first 10 minutes they say like retard, like oh God. And
It's bad,
like,
yeah.
It's like from like 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, I do not find Dane Cook attractive.
I would hope not.
Yeah, good. Okay. Who are your DC comic crushes?
Lobo.
Oh,
Whoa.
the main man.
Yep.
The name's Lobo.
Name's Lobo.
And
It's
Joe,
one mean bastard.
and Joe Manganiello Deathstroke.
That's fair.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With that
Wow.
with that salt and pepper hair.
Okay, what about this? Joe Manganiello Deathstroke performing the final strip from Magic Mike XXL.
Oh, of course.
I D&D his D.
Yeah, right? I wanna do like an animal.
Roll for endurance.
And it's like, I wanna fuck you like a level 7.
Paladin.
Earn.
I use
5,000
engaging thrust.
experience.
Level 7 paladin. It could keep you going, boosting that stamina throughout the whole thing.
I'm gonna say those two. That's my jam.
Right. Yeah. Lobo, eh? What is it about Lobo?
He likes a dirtbag.
So similar to my type.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the dangerous motorcycle type. That's
Yeah, that's me. I just ride into town and ride out on a whim, baby.
That's right.
Jess, how about you? Who's your DC comic crush?
I'm currently in this like Mexican like gang like
Okay.
thing.
Chateau Santana? El Diablo?
El Diablo, yes. Yes. We've been watching Good Girls.
Yeah.
And what's his name? I don't even know his name.
Rio.
Rio? Whatever his name is.
That motherfucker's
I don't care.
name's Rio.
He's such a charming, man.
Wow, El Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's my phase right now.
Right on.
And my non-DC
Sure.
would be, I mean, if you're going back, like, when I was a little kid, I loved watching X-Men, like the animated show, and loved Gambit.
You like Gambit? He's coming from the bayou.
And Cyclops, which is freaky that I liked Gambit, and now I have to deal with this horrible Cajun voice.
Oh, you careful what you wish for, little lady.
If I had to say non-DC, well, I'm sure all the listeners already know because I know you've told the story about when I quivered when Captain America flipped his arm over.
Yeah, when he's holding the helicopter and he flips the grip.
You've said that so many times. You've said that on a live podcast with John Gabris.
Your loins have quivered?
Oh.
She audibly moaned in the cinema when that happened.
I went, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It just happened.
I mean, I don't blame her. He looks fucking
What he
fine.
didn't tell you is that he did it too. It wasn't just me.
You heard it here first.
Listen, hey,
that's America's ass.
That's America's Spoilers.
Fake news.
Yeah, fair enough. Captain America.
That's good.
Sorry. Who was your non-DC one again? Oh, right. Gambit and Cyclops.
That's right.
Out of curiosity, who's your DC crush, Richard?
Power Girl.
Is it actually?
I mean, no, not really.
She's stacked to hell.
I know. I just like saying that. Zatanna, probably.
Zatanna, fair enough.
Yeah, I like a dark-haired lady.
Sure, yeah.
That pushes
yours
you
is
around?
Black Canary.
Yeah, I like a dark-haired lady that pushes me around, honestly.
Yeah, right, yeah.
If she Italian, too, that would help.
Yes, you're right. Mine is Black Canary.
Yeah.
That's true.
Understandable. Which version?
Oh, just all of them.
It's really the outfit. It has nothing to do with who's in it.
Yeah, it's the blue corset.
Yeah. I get it. That's fine.
Well, because I'm a mean motorcycle guy.
Anyways, let's move on. The next question comes...
We're just meant to be together.
Next question comes from ABC.
Brooks.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Brooks.
Do, re, mi.
Brooks.
ABC.
Brooks.
1, 2, 3.
Brooks.
ABC.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Brooks. 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 Brooks.
Brooks.
Brooks.
Every time.
One of my favorite ones. Next to Raging G, one of my favorite ones.
ABC Brooks asks, how much is too much when it comes to the money that your husband spends on comics? This is when the divorce happens. Oh, there's your ride.
It's the chopper.
Yeah. How are we gonna go?
I don't think that it's probably as much of. I'm not gonna. I don't mean this in the way it's gonna sound, but I'm sure it's probably not as much of a problem for Richard as it is for the doctor. Because the doctor,
my wife's pretty rad.
We go every week.
Yeah,
like you don't have a weekly pull list
to pick up a stack of
not
comics.
from the
Yeah,
comics.
totally different.
And that can change. And like I cap it at like if I go in there to pick them up if he's not around and they tell me the total is like $50, then I get angry. If it stays around 30, then I'm okay.
Part of the problem is that like depending on what books you get, like if they're monthly comics,
it feels like that thing you've said before.
Listen, trust me,
you don't understand.
If you get comics monthly, like they each come out on a different week.
Yeah.
So, but literally, the ones I choose to get, a bunch of them come like the start of the month, right when we've paid rent and all that shit, and then it's like a huge fucking week. And then the next week, there's only 2 comics.
Yeah.
But the first week, there's like 7. One of them is like Doomsday Clock.
Until you pay a mortgage, not rent.
Oh fuck!
I know.
You're right. Holy shit. We
Yeah.
bought a house
Yeah, remember the time we bought a
almost a
house?
year ago.
It's a thing that, like, for the first 2 years, I used to say rent all the time, and we were like, oh, yeah, mortgage.
Bank rent.
Yes.
But yeah, he used to buy more, and then when we moved, and then when we had a child, he whittled away some of them. But
used to take more.
But basically, like, my cap is over the like average of 30, 35 a week.
And I mean, like, but then the flip side is
I'm never
too,
a dick about it, though.
No, not at all. You're actually very supportive about it. I was going to say that the flip side is that, like, I do try.
Just be grateful you get any read.
Yeah, well, really,
you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
I mean, I try to be mindful of that because I do have ones that I get month to month, and you are very good about it. But sometimes we'll go into the comic shop and they'll be like, we don't have anything for you yet. Like, the comics haven't come in yet. And I'll go, okay, great, let's leave. And you'll be like, oh, let's look through the back issues. Like, you're, in a way, you're almost like too supportive because I'm like, no, like, we don't have to spend the money on this. And you go like, oh, come on, it's nice. So, like,
she doesn't say, like, you've had enough and then tap you in the balls and go, you fucking door.
I literally cannot complain. She's like so supportive of this thing that I like that even when I don't have to get some, she's like, well, there's a couple here that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Come on, like, who's it hurting?
Yeah, this is also, like, I'm the guy whose wife got surprised him with a giant fucking 75-year anniversary. Yeah.
I would say
our wives are too supportive.
Yeah, we're both exceptionally fortunate fellows.
Yeah, I also got to, like, bio equipment to make a DC Comics podcast, so.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I would say we would be shooting ourselves in the foot and face big time if we said anything other than how supportive our partners are.
And that's the story, and that's how it's going to stay.
Did I get that right?
Keys to a successful marriage.
Yeah.
Commencing alibi mode.
Now it's X mode? No, I said no.
The robot is asking.
Yeah.
Do I engage fornication mode now?
Consent is important.
Yes, that's
Thank
right.
Thank you, robot.
That's true. The robot has been programmed to consent.
Thank you.
Wait, it's been programmed to consent? Wait.
Or, oh no, I meant to seek consent.
Yes.
Damn it.
I guess I will.
Oh, no.
No.
That's not what I wanted to
let's
say.
leave Instagram.
It's beeping yes, but it's saying no into its eyes.
Let's quickly leave Instagram.
I love my wife. Let's leave Instagram and head on over to email.
Check the email.
And the question is from Ben.
Hi.
What have you been doing?
Just telling everyone what time it is in London. Big Ben. It's a clock.
Yeah.
Get out.
But he's got a big clock.
Big old Ben.
Who asks, hello, Mrs. DC and Mrs. Producer.
Hello, Ben.
What up, Ben?
Hello.
All right, simmer down.
Hi there.
Easy. He's not fucking Lobo. Hello.
El Diablo.
Or El Diablo, yeah.
Hi there, Ben. Ben, what are you wearing?
He continues to say, what's your favorite episode of the show?
What's that on your face?
This is the most important question.
Numbers.
Pay attention to us.
We need this. Oh.
This was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
That's
This is
the
Dr.
worst
DC's
joke
broken.
I've ever made.
Is this what it's like when we go on a tangent?
I think it might be. Oh, she's done.
The tables have turned.
There. I don't even think I heard what was said.
I don't think I did
I said,
either.
what's on your face? Numbers?
That was you have to promise to keep all of that silence in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead air, a podcast. Please just read the fucking question.
It's better than the content.
This is an important question, though. You should listen to this. We need this.
What's your favorite episode of the show and your favorite guest?
Alfred.
Ooh.
Wow.
So that's a Patreon episode.
Yep, pay up.
Over on the Double
That's
Dose.
my girl.
Double Dose number 2 is our full
Our best we ever got.
Our actual like acted out
Yes.
pitch for Alfred Begins.
That we all know our tip-top improv skills.
Incredible. You get to meet such amazing characters as like Army Captain.
Well, it's impressive.
Alfred's mom.
Because it wasn't scripted. You guys just did it
That's
off
true.
the cuff.
It's 50 minutes long and entirely improvised, and that's literally the first time either of us have ever done that.
Yep.
Double Dose number 2. It's over on our Patreon, patreon.com/DrDC.
And my favorite guest, I don't know if anyone remembers. I mean, I hope they would remember because it was such a monumental episode. But it's when you guys had this other doctor on, Dr. AC/DC.
I don't recall.
No, when was that?
I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't imagine this.
Yes. That's special number 8. That was our broadcast from elsewhere in the multiverse, where the podcast is actually the Dr. AC/DC podcast.
I think it happened somewhere around April.
Yeah. Just a time in April.
Yeah.
Nothing specific.
Nope.
Is that legitimately your favorite episode? Because
Your favorite guest?
Your favorite guest?
Well,
I
yeah.
love that so much.
Yeah. They were so knowledgeable.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
They were probably really hot too. Like I could just hear it through their voice.
Yeah. Bet they had a thing for like Latino gang members.
I'd get with that doctor.
Me too.
Hey,
What?
they're mine.
Oh,
Jesus.
We can have them together.
We need a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, you take
We have to negotiate.
Yeah, okay, so you negotiate terms. Mrs. DC, what's your favorite episode of the Dr. DC podcast?
Probably when you did the one all about Aquaman, because it basically just allowed you to. You love Aquaman so much. It just
Right.
allowed you to sort of go and say all the random knowledge that you had, and you got to talk about things that really interested you, and that. And I like the Super Best Friends one as well.
Oh, sure.
Surprised she didn't say Ragman.
The Aquaman one is issue 99. That's the Sea King.
Yeah, the Sea King.
The Buddies one.
Seaman.
Yeah.
Seaman.
Seaman. Swallow, come.
And then I think my favorite it's a tie for guest.
Okay.
I love Lucretia Lyon.
Yeah, that's a great
she's
one.
great,
Yeah.
I
Issue
think-
105, the Hellblazer.
I think there was a lot of really good discussion, and I think that she challenged you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
Oh
in
my
a
God.
lot.
And she knows so much more about Constantine than
Well, and that's what
either
I mean.
of us do.
I think that she made you better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other tie was when you guys did the live show, because I got to be there and watch you with John Gabris and Tom Goss.
Yes. Issue 109, sidekicks.
I think my most favorite was like just Tom tried his ass off. I love Tom.
Everything was about the Dark Knight.
Everything was about the Dark Knight.
Have you guys seen the Dark Knight?
And I know that
Christian Bale.
and I know that you both admire.
I love Tom
and
so
like-
much. Tom, you're the best.
Yeah, like I know that you guys like and admire Gabris and
Yes,
Tom very
yeah.
much. So to watch that whole dynamic
That was a dream come
unfold,
true for us.
It was,
Sure.
it was really
absolutely,
cool to be
yeah.
a part of. So those are my faves.
What about you?
Oh,
I mean, okay, excluding sidekicks, because that's obviously.
yeah, I mean, that was a big one for us. So let's leave that aside. Favorite episode? Do you know what? I think it's issue 80. It's called Hellbent. In general, that episode is about demons and things like that. But that's the episode where we created Evil Alfred, and there's so much of that bit in that episode, and you can hear it like develop, like little pieces build on each other through that episode and through the next couple of episodes. But it's really that one. It's issue number 80. That's where we develop Evil Alfred, and I'm really like weirdly proud of that, because even within that episode, you can hear us like come up with the idea that he kills them, then come up with the idea that he like has a suit already made, like all of the things that are like part of that character now. I'm quite proud of that one. I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you?
I would say my favorite episode.
Is there one with particularly good sound quality?
Well, I mean, yes. But I mean, that's really just the back half of I think past episode like 60 is
sure. I'm
super proud of. I would say that my favorite episode was actually the most recent Patreon episode that we did.
Oh, about PC gaming?
No, the script.
Oh, sorry, the script tease. That's right. Yes, yeah.
Yes,
that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Be able to pitch our sort of ideas for movies. That's something that I wanted to do. For
I think we both had like a couple of pretty solid ones. Like, yeah, you pitched a Dr. Fate one. I pitched a Martian Manhunter one. Again, check it out on Patreon if you aren't already. Yeah.
I think my favorite guest.
Oh, I didn't even say that.
Oh wait, Comic Crush, Martian Manhunter.
I mean, he's fucking.
Wait,
I mean,
John Jones or him as Martian Manhunter?
and he could
John
be
Jones,
anyone you want at any time. You could change your mind, and he could still
I
fulfill
forgot.
that fantasy.
He's my favorite superhero, but I never thought of him in a sexual way until
But now you've thought about
and I'm into it.
and he could shapeshift, ladies.
Now I'm Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
It's okay. You can say something
Zac
about that.
Efron and Dirty Grandpa.
Right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Those yellow pants.
Yeah, take him off.
When he's doing the handstand.
When he has the B on his.
When
dick?
he's at all on screen in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baywatch 2.
Nah, not as much.
Never mind. Sorry, favorite guest.
My favorite guest, well, there was a recent one on the Flash Patreon episode.
Oh.
It was you.
Oh.
Jesus.
Remember you were there? We talked about the Flash?
Sometimes I just lay on the couch in here because I need human contact.
Right. You were sitting in that chair, though.
Sometimes you just lay there. Sometimes you just
You
lay
were
there and
actually
let
on
things
the
happen
episode.
around
You weren't in the background. You had a mic and everything.
That's also her in the sheets response.
Sometimes I just lay here.
She just needs human contact. Yeah.
If I just lay.
I would say that one, but also second, very close second is the Simon King.
Yeah, that one. I mean, I've re-listened to that one, and it's all over the place.
It's insane, but
it's so like boom, 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 boom.
I have never laughed that hard. That was
we definitely hit more bases in that episode than most other ones. Yeah, I mean, favorite guest. Obviously, I've got a big love on for Gabrus, but I'll leave that one aside. I think my next favorite guest to that's got to be. I mean, I really liked having Heath Corson on. That was a ton of fun.
Fuck, that was really cool. Yeah.
He's a super nice guy, and having that sort of insider perspective was neat. But I got to give it to Kyle Clark.
Oh,
Kyle Clark is just he's a guy with like a big, and my wife, of course.
I did it.
That's okay.
Kyle Clark, he's got a big love for comics. He obviously he
knows a lot.
He could talk forever about it too. So like it's fun to have him. And like with Lucretia, he's someone that like in certain like pockets he knows way more than I ever will, right? Like Vertigo comics, like he's the guy, right? So it's kind of cool to like have a discussion and like get his perspective on things or about Morrison and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. But also my wife. First and foremost, my wife.
Answer correct.
Engage backtrack mode.
Now you're a robot? I don't understand.
Digging hole simulation.
Yeah.
Dig up, stupid robot.
Keep digging.
Digging his grave.
Initialize sleep on couch function.
There we go. That makes sense. All right. Well, that was it for the questions this week. Before we go into the next segment, our wonderful Josh Gill put together a list of his favorite dial docs that we've had. So we're going to go into those now. And we're back.
Hey, what amazing, inspired creations we had.
That's right.
We're the best at coming up with superheroes.
We're the best.
Around. Fun fact, that's the song that we walked into our reception to at our wedding.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very much you guys.
Our
yeah.
wedding was like loosely movie themed, and so we walked into that because it's from the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
If we had a song at our wedding, what would it have been?
That wasn't our first dance, just to clarify. We entered our
Yes. We had no music.
It's just us, and we're like just kicking centerpieces off the tables.
No music at all, just silence.
Well, we got
No
married,
clapping, no.
We got married in the world's smallest desert.
Right.
And it was the
that's
world's
right, yeah.
smallest wedding. So there's only a couple people.
Who had to be there because we needed witnesses.
Even Richard wasn't there.
Yeah. I Skyped in.
I FaceTime.
Yeah.
The pictures are all just Jess and an iPad.
Me like making out with his iPad.
I'm like on the computer, like
just taping a ring to the iPad.
It's one of those iPads on the stand with wheels.
Yeah.
I couldn't get up the sand. It was
Like
on the
in
top
Bob's
of a hill.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, you know what that means.
It's time.
It's time this week. We're going to share our misery. It's time for this week's Dial Doc.
I forgot about this.
I always do.
Yep. That means that. So every week we get inspired from the comics of old and now rebooted.
Yeah.
which were dial H for hero.
That's right.
The concept was basically that a person would come upon a payphone. I know this payphones is a thing that you used to be able to find.
I mean,
in the
we can't
streets.
get
Yeah,
into
I know.
this.
Yeah,
It takes
it's
too
not.
long.
Yeah. Basically, you would dial hero or evil into this phone, and you would be turned temporarily into a hero or a villain. These were heroes that were submitted by readers of the comic. So we try to come up with our own characters every single week. So, does anybody have one?
I actually have one.
So do I.
Damn!
You have one too?
Damn right I
I would
do.
love to hear yours.
I'm inspired.
What a gentleman.
I'm inspired this past week. My hero is the post.
Me. Oh, sorry. What?
No, not
You
even
didn't
close.
say what I thought you were going to say. You go.
My hero is the postmaster. And the postmaster,
Like the mailman?
yeah.
Oh.
The postmaster can pick up any.
You realize the implication of this, right?
Hey,
Is it played by Macaulay Culkin?
I wish it were. I wish
the
it
page
were.
master.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I know.
But
I was
it's
gonna
sort
say
of the same thing as the page.
It's a post-apocalyptic thing where this guy becomes a postman and brings it around.
But
He's
that's
just
the
good
thing.
at building fences.
The postmaster can grab any form of literature, but like newspaper is the most powerful.
Sure.
And say there was like an earthquake, he can have thunder power because he'll pull the power from the news.
Oh, he gets it from like the things
Yeah.
he's delivering.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
So like say there's a tsunami, then he'll have water powers.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
he can-
I'm delivering justice.
yeah. Yeah. Like he could go to the WAN-ads and like pull.
Someone punches him and he goes, "Return to sender."
He goes in the WAN-ads and pulls a loose woman out.
Oh, no.
Well, but that's the thing. You can go to the WAN-ads and pull out like sexy charisma
Oh,
to entice someone.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I really like that one, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
Postmaster.
welcome. The postmaster.
That's very good. That's
good.
Yeah, that's mine.
I like it.
I've got one. His name is Thermodynamo.
Okay.
Basically, Thermodynamo he's not based on something in this room.
I know. I was just like, there's nothing in here that
Miraculously. Well, I mean, technically it's in this room because it's everywhere. He's based on the laws of thermodynamics. But basically, he can either like create heat and fire and energy,
Yeah.
or he can like drain it and make like entropy, cold, things like that. But while he's doing it, he has to do the equal and opposite thing. So if he's supposed to like, create heat or fire or energy, he has to be draining it from something else. Like he could put his hand on a furnace and then shoot fire or something. Or like vice versa. Like if he needs to take the energy out of something or freeze it, he could take the energy out, but he's got to do something with it. It can't stay in him. So he has to constantly be doing both making something cold and making something hot because it's the equal and opposite reaction thing.
Wouldn't just standing on the earth fuel him by like the geothermal like heat of the
He's
earth?
constantly got to be like giving it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
He maybe has fire hair like Firestorm or something like that. Yeah.
Because otherwise, how would he turn it off? He's just walking around. He's got special boots.
I don't think he can turn it off. I think it's a curse. He's basically just a conduit for energy. It has to go in and out constantly in equal proportion, and that's Thermodynamo.
I'm trying to like,
Nice.
Yeah.
make this.
And a good name, admit it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Right?
Okay, I have two.
And he wears a thong. No,
Of course you do. Yes.
I have two, and they came to me at the exact same time. So what do I do?
Wow. Well, do them both.
I just burped straight into the mic. I'm sorry.
Fucking dirtbag. Name's Lobo.
I told you, just a devil may care biker guy.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh, are
Okay.
you fucking kidding me?
No.
What? Whoa.
1 point?
Yeah. The Raptors lost by 1.
Oh.
We're going to game 6, baby.
The Reptars.
Sorry, guys.
Kevin Durant left the game hurt, though.
I
Fun
can't believe
fact.
basketball is more important.
I know.
I'm sorry. Go on.
No.
No, God
Oh, for
forbid.
God.
Why are you
no.
mad at me? She showed it to me.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
but you could have silently dealt with your
That's not
pain.
how I do.
So
Okay.
Jess
So-
has 2.
Two villains. One's called Whale Tail.
Oh, God.
Of course it is.
Oh, no.
Is it a thong related?
Do they have wedgie power?
Oh my god, please. Continue.
It's not at all what you think because that's disgusting.
Yeah, grow up, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so curious.
Whale Tail is a master of literature when it comes to whales.
Like Moby Dick and only Moby
Yes,
Dick. Yeah.
tales.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He knows all the tales of whales.
Tails. Moby Dick. Pinocchio. What are other big whale? There's a whale in Hitchhiker's Guide.
2,000
briefly before it explodes on a
20,000
planet.
Leagues Under the Sea.
Or yeah, but does it
Star Trek. Which one was it? Where they go to
Star
Earth?
Trek 4.
Is that a thing? Is it anything that has a whale in it, or anything specifically about whales?
Yeah.
Do whales have to be the central figure, or just make an appearance?
It has to be the major point of the
Sure.
in the plot, and he basically will tell you any tale about a whale.
Right. Until you kill yourself.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And what's the second
That's
one?
truly villainous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Zulda.
Zuld?
No, Zulda.
Zulda?
Like Zelda, but with Zul.
Oh, Zulda.
Oh, like from the Ghostbusters?
Like there is no Zelda, only Zulda.
My name is Zulda.
Or is it played by Sigourney Weaver's less attractive sister?
Wigorny Seaver.
Yeah.
I will save the princess. It's Princess Zulda.
Get out of here, Ukrainian Popeye. you bastard. Cabbage smelling.
What is Zulda's abilities?
Well, I mean, you're familiar with Zool,
Yeah.
So familiar.
and you're familiar with Zelda.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just the two of them.
That's it. Okay, now which is worse, Zulda or mine from last week, Sand Doll?
Oh, yeah, it's true. Zulda wins.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
I thought Sand Doll had that.
No, that's still the worst thing you've ever come up with.
How well can Zulda play the ocarina?
Not well.
Not well. Okay.
Devilishly well.
Good God.
If Zulda was a rapper, they could play the Ocarina of Rhyme.
Oh God.
Do 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 do
Wow.
do 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 do.
I'm sorry. What are you doing?
It's a song of time, I think. Wait, no, that's do 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 do.
Because I was doing do 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 do.
Oh yeah, that's the forest. That's the forest in the Lost Woods.
Am I the only one that like preferred Majora's Mask?
Thank you. Yes.
Are you doing Friend Like Me?
It's a Epona song. You fucking don't ever interrupt
yeah,
that.
that's Epona's song.
You mother.
Sung by
Do do do. Do 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 do.
I'm Melan, daughter of Lon. Lon.
I gotta say, of
thank
those
you.
two, Whale Tale is the most sinister. Just telling stories about whales until someone kills themselves. That's fucking grim.
It's good, yeah.
Fills you with information.
I thought they were a villain.
Yeah. But not against
you
the whales.
So you learn something before you kill
The
yourself.
most evil thing that someone can do to you is teach you
about whales.
It really says something about
Suck at marine
humanity
biology.
and how we treat the oceans. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, they're a villain though.
Yeah.
I'm very confused
Against-
about which side in like.
It's on the marine side against humans.
Oh right, we are the villains because we negatively affect their ecology.
No. Whale Tail is the villain and is like,
Because they're spreading information about whales.
no, they think they're in the right.
When God specifically in one of his commandments told us not to learn about whales.
They're killing.
Thou shalt not ask a fucking question about whales.
They're killing humans, which is why it makes
Whales
them a
are?
villain. No, Whale Tail.
This is so much more convoluted.
There's
than
a whale in the alley, and the Waynes are like, "Oh, that was a fun movie," and the whale just like,
Want to talk about bailing?
Yeah, not another whale movie.
yeah.
Good God.
Wow.
Wow. I don't know how I can top any of this,
Yeah, bring us home.
but I'm going to try.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So my character's name
Is desk?
No.
It's not some sort of horrible pun, is it?
No. What do you mean? My character's name is
Come on.
Sombrero Bro.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You said it wasn't a bad pun.
And he's is able to turn any moment into a 13-year-old girl's quinceanera.
Sorry, why are
15.
Why are they 13? It's a
15.
quinceanera.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It means
15.
15. Quinceanera.
That's what I said.
You said,
You said
13.
13.
Shut up.
It's not a quinceañera.
You know what I love is that we both know what a quinceañera is.
Yeah, because I paid attention in school.
Did you take Spanish class?
I watched Dora the Explorer instead of following up on my math homework.
Yeah, you know when Dora turned 15?
Yeah.
Do you also know when that show started? Far past when we were children.
Shut up.
I loved Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that mashup?
No.
Oh.
It's just like somebody dressed up like Dumbledore, but then he's got like a little backpack on.
Is that when Dora makes someone much younger?
When we go home.
Is that when Dora makes someone much younger than her sacrifice their life for their quest?
That's what pedophile does.
Oh no. So sorry. Sombrero can do what?
Can turn any moment into a quinceañera.
Into a quinceañera.
Yeah.
But they're a bro, so are there also keg stands and shit at this quinceañera?
Well, yeah, you've been to a quinceañera.
Is it part quinceañera, part frat party?
Yeah.
Because there's sombrero bro?
Yeah.
Number 1, fuck sombrero bro.
Number 1, yo soy? Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my
I mean, that we really ran the gamut there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pinata. Yep.
Wow.
So that's it for the Dial Docs this week and the episode.
That was our second annual. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for people that have just joined us this year.
That's right.
'Cause there's lots of you.
That's right.
Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for listening to the old episodes and still deciding to stick with us. We got that one review this year that was like, I'm glad I listened in reverse order. And it's like, you're probably right. We're just constantly improving.
I think that's why all of our downloads are from the beginning and they never seem to get to the end.
That is really funny too, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you guys. I mean, the only reason that we beyond just screaming into the void, which I might do anyway, the only reason to keep doing this is because you guys engage with us and,
That's right.
and sort of fuel it and that sort of thing. So
Give me fuel, give me fun, give me that which I desire. Downloads and reviews.
That's right. Do either
and money, buy our merch.
Do either of you have anything you want to plug?
On mic?
On mic, yeah.
Not really.
Come see Newsies.
Yeah, come see Newsies at the Yukon Arts Center this week. Friday the 14th through Sunday the 16th.
That's right.
7 p.m. shows.
Yeah.
2 p.m. show on
That's right,
Saturday and
Paul.
Sunday.
Yeah, Yukon Theater for Young People.
Yeah, Yukon Theater for
production
Young
of
People.
Newsies,
We'll see you there, Paul.
Strike.
yeah.
Nothing to plug
Okay.
publicly. No.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking knew it.
I'm learning too much.
No,
Too late for that.
I'm really proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shucks.
You guys
That means a lot
are
coming
so
from-
cute together, and you know it's nice to when you let us into this world and let us be a part of it.
I didn't think you wanted in, frankly, but
We got to get our kicks from somewhere, right, Jess?
Well, if you want to tell us how proud you are of us, all you have to do is reach out through our various social media
That's right.
platforms. You can send us a dial doc using the hashtag dial doc. You can send us a question for next week's episode.
Well, no, next week's episode, we're actually catching up.
Oh, that's right.
We're doing our Fanstravaganza. We're going back into the mailbag, getting to questions that we haven't gotten to, because sometimes we just get too many for an episode, or we get questions that don't fit our theme or whatever. So we're digging back into the mailbag. That's next week. But you will notice up on Twitter, we're in the middle of the Fanagar Tournament of Pandering.
That's right.
We've got lots of episode themes for you to vote on, and the rounds will continue until we get a definitive theme for the final episode.
That's right.
Of Fanagar. So if you haven't already, go to Twitter, vote on those themes, and we're going to narrow down what that fourth week's episode is going to be about.
Absolutely. And you can do all of that through our Facebook,
Dr. DC Podcast,
through our Twitter,
at Dr. DC,
Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast,
our email,
drdcpodcast@gmail.com,
our subreddit,
r/Dr_DC.
Don't forget the doc phone is now open. 208-917-3238. That's 208-917-DCEU. And of course, not only can you talk to us, but you can also go on our website,
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
We got articles up there. We got merchandise you can buy. Buy our merch. And of course, leave us a review. We've already got 30. We're going to have to come up with the next...
We're at 31 now.
Yes, that's right. We got to get... what's our 40 going to be? We got to figure that out. But we'll figure that out at a later date. And of course, subscribe to our Patreon.
Insert idea.
Our Patreon.
Commencing idea mode.
Every Friday comes out. It's only $5 a month, and you get 4 episodes extra every single month.
That's right, because that's how months work. 4 weeks in a month. It's patreon.com/DrDC.
That's it for this week. We'll see you on Friday or next Wednesday.
That's right.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
All the superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of
I'll just let the microphone touch my uvula.
Your uvula?
Your uvula.
The thing.
No, uvula, the house lady. the housekeeper who comes in a couple times a week. Uvula, get in here.
Yes, Miss Jess.
Jesus Christ.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.